しさに自分らしさを力に迷いながらでもいい歩き出してもう一回もう一回誰かの期待にずっと答え褒められるのが好きなのですかなりたい自分をすり替えても笑顔はいつでも素敵ですか
The reason for the wait was to make sure that this does not go down because I could not even open the program because it would try to log in and it wasn't logging in. It was like everything was blocked from their servers, from accessing their servers. I don't know if it was something on our end or something on the website. Either way, it got fixed. So there we go. We are here. Question. So we have 9 fill clips as well as the all hell no. I can get rid of the all hell no to make the final fill script, or we can keep it. It's up to y'all because y'all are the ones using the voice clips, not me. I'm not gonna shout you out, Corey. For you. What's up, Triton? Hi. Best Monster Hunter monster. Dude, Carlo, love One Piece. Hope, Raul. Guy with 2 names. Don't be here, dude. Raul. Meme Spice. Debt. Bored. I think we're Chris. Mark Month. Ugh, Mark Month. I tried to get Mark Month going, y'all, and it ain't happen. Priscilla. Eris.
Triton Amoris says.
Robert.
TTS says shout out to Corey with a K.
No, we're not shouting out nothing. Victory, Greymon. He don't deserve it. He's trash. You, Corey. Again, I tried to get Mark Month going for next month, and it's just not happening. Which I understand why. And the earliest it would probably happen is late April at this point.
Or just not at all. That's always an option.
It's always an option, but it's not an option we like to do when we say we're going to do something and then we just don't do it. Where's that Inner Demon video vid? I thought about doing it for next week. Because that should be hit. But there's also a lot of things that should be hit. I can't retire my username until it happens. That's on you. What do you want us to do about it? So we're just gonna start. We're talking about Phil. We started this video. This is a video that DA himself has edited. We started it like October, November-ish, and then it just kind of sat in the back burner as we went through everything.
It was right after Thanksgiving.
Okay, so we decided to come back to it. Well, I decided.
I'm about to say, don't say we, because
I decided because I had won a bet about whether he was one of the video creators we did would show Cartman, and he did, and I won. So we're doing it because I picked it. Yeah, how was chapter 380 of My Hero Academia? Gentle was great, and then you can just kind of shut off the chapter.
Y'all know that comes after. We ain't doing. I'm not going to feel angry.
Oh no! Oh, I didn't homework. I totally forgot about it. Totally.
Y'all see that? I finished my homework, and he's still backed up.
I totally forgot about it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So we are actually 29 minutes into this video. Which is way further than I actually thought it was going to be. Is that going to hurt anything in the video?
The timestamp?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That way we can actually see where we are while we're doing this. My stocks are never tanking. As I said, all the alerts are filled right now. Except for, I think, one. Let me see.
And so, for people that don't remember, this is just comparing Phil from 2009?
Yep, 2010, I think.
2010 and later to the Phil of what was the most recent Ask the King, and now it's 2 Ask the Kings ago. Or was it 1? I forget. Doesn't matter.
I've actually played Eurokill. It was one of my top 10 games of last year.
Why would you not show the full edit? Go back!
Because we saw the full edit.
When the people need to be reminded.
Possibility in the future. A couple more questions here. Again, bear with me.
I wanted to shake the screen for the swish, but then I was like, you wouldn't be able to see the swish, so you just need to, you just see it.
It's from Pandora at lemonshrew.com, and this question is, okay, I have a question for you. I'm a girl and I spend most of my time playing video games, but a lot of people seem to think that girls shouldn't play video games. What are your thoughts on this? Well, Pandora, thank you for the question.
First off, what kind of question is that? Why do you need Phil to validate?
Because he is a popular Let's Player, and he is in the space to inform all these people.
Oh, what people?
The people that watch him.
So Phil just went, yeah, I agree, women shouldn't play video games. Would she be like, all right, that's it?
No.
She just wants her validated.
Yeah.
She just wants to be like, I'm in the right for playing video games. Well, you shouldn't even have that mindset.
Hi,
She
Saldana
sucks,
says,
but she's a fan
Didn't
of
you do your
Phil.
homework? 2, young man.
I didn't. It sucks. What are you going to do? Phil is asking himself.
I do believe that sometimes some of these questions are
Because
planted.
they're so milquetoast, 1, and 2, such a answer that he can expand on that he feels would be poignant in whatever he's talking about. For
You're
the day.
so great, Phil. How do you stay so great? He's like, well, that's a great question.
Well, I don't know if I'm that great, but I'll answer the question.
Enjoy receiving questions from females as well as males. As you know,
I
so
love
weird.
receiving questions from females.
What? What do you mean by that, Phil? What is better about receiving a letter from a female than a male?
from females as well as males. As you know, females are a minority in the gaming world. And to answer your question, you know, what is my thoughts on females playing video games? I don't think it's necessarily an issue.
The question was, or did she say women or females? Because it would sound like he wrote it if she said female.
I have a question for you. I'm a girl and I spend most of my time playing video games, but a lot of people seem to think that girls shouldn't play video games. What are your thoughts on this? Well, Pandora,
No, she didn't say female, so it might legit just be a woman.
issue of that girls shouldn't play video.
Okay, let me go back a little bit.
And, you know, what is my thoughts on females playing video games? I don't think it's necessarily an issue of that girls shouldn't play video games. It's just that girls suck at video games. I mean, let's face it.
He's gonna start joking. He's
I
gonna
hope,
start the joke.
I
He's gonna-
sincerely
No,
hope that
of course
he is.
not. That's not what I mean.
It's always the guys who are sitting down and spending the time to play the games competitively. It always seems to be like a guy kind of thing. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I almost view it as...
Oh, no, it wasn't a joke.
Oh, this is real.
Oh, it just wasn't a joke.
Oh no!
Okay, sorry.
Oh no! There's no way he's actually.
like sports. Like, sure,
Okay, let me go back.
always seems to be like a...
He's being serious.
Dude, that's the craziest part.
guy kind of thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I almost view it as like sports. Like, sure, there are female professional sports, but for the most part, it's the male sports that are viewed by the most people, seem to be like the most competitive.
Phil, it's not about being viewed by the most people. You can
No.
just play a Mario game and not be viewed by people.
Yeah.
It's not
Animal
about
Crossing.
competition because you can just play a Mario game. What the I was wondering why I added this question. I'm like, this seems like a very mundane one.
So his whole thing is, oh, the men are the ones that play competitive gaming. Who gives a Is a woman playing The Sims for 200 hours in a month less than a gamer than a guy that plays Call of Duty for 140 hours in a month? They're both gay. Dude,
what competition is there in a single player JRPG? Why not just go, yeah, I don't know why people are talking like that, but yeah, women of course should be able to play games or whatever. It's who cares?
Gaming is an inclusive
But he's just
thing.
going, but the men, we're more competitive, so that sports, look at sports.
Video games are like sports. Like, what do we...
It's kind of weird because at least in sports, your excuse is, well, you know, the males
Meme.
are supposed
I did edit this, but this was 2-3 months ago, so it's
an hour plus of
Yeah.
hour 40 minutes of an edit.
Plus, I didn't go too far into it. I was like, this is a good question. How's the answer? Okay, it sounds like a good answer. Moving on. Added it. Move on.
in sports, your excuse is, well, you know, the males are supposed to be stronger. They're supposed to be faster because they're supposed to be the protector of the family and the one that goes out.
Holy crap. This isn't a term that I use, but this is misogyny. This man is some kind of ist.
Whether it's race, massage,
This dude just talking about the man's
patriarchy.
place, the woman's place. We're the stronger. We're the hunter-gatherers.
oh man, DSP bringing back standard gender roles.
Man, like it ain't nothing.
Men are meant to be stronger, more competitive, out there hunting. Women get in the kitchen, bare feet, pop out them babies. Dude, at this point, how far can it go before we go, this is not a joke?
When does he stop? When does he realize,
says,
I gotta run this
How
back a
long
little
ago was
bit?
this?
How long? 9 to 10 years. I think it's 2010, so
Notera
about
says,
10, 13
women
years.
belong in the kitchen side, Phil.
breaks their back and makes the money traditionally, and that's why they excel at sports. But for video,
Men do not excel in sport because they break their backs making money.
That doesn't make sense, Phil.
What does this have to do with video games?
What?
You're sitting down with a
sauce.
controller. What does this have to do with being strong and competitive?
He's talking about making money in
Is
sports.
he just trying to do a transitive property thing where the manly men play video games and I am one of the best competitive video gamers in Street Fighter 2?
can't.
So
He can't. He won't.
video games, I don't know if that's
Mark
the
Month
case.
says, Phil, look at yourself. Can you be a hunter? Are you the manly man?
Yeah, what is the breadwinner about this admittedly very doughy man?
Because let's face it, video games really doesn't need a lot of physical ability. It's more hand-eye coordination, more thought process, maybe reaction time. So is there a real reason why there's such a massive amount of male people or males who play video games and are better at video games than this smaller group of females?
Phil,
where's your question
evidence?
was never, ever. Why are guys better than girls in video games? It was, do you think women should be allowed to play?
It was a 2-sentence question. He's like, well, the gender roles of men are such that they make the money, and therefore they can play video games better. You see? Sip, sip.
Man boobs are essential for hunting. Not a fan of Phil's pre-time skip design.
3 times.
What a horrible answer. So women don't have the thought process for video games?
Where is he going with this? He's a lunatic. Just say yes. Women should be able to do anything that a man should. Man, woman, kids, old people, gaming is for everybody. Done. You don't have to go into the gender role.
Accessibility.
I don't know. Maybe when video games were first becoming popular, it was more of a geeky kind of thing, and it was these computer programming guys who were into it. And now that it's in the mainstream, that's changing. I don't know. An interesting twist on this topic is Evolution 2010.
What did he is bringing up
There's
competitive.
no way that he can talk about Street Fighter when she simply said, should girls be allowed to play games?
Is he gonna talk about some woman doing well in the game?
I'm so confused.
Have you seen the 80-year-old grandma play COD? She would tear Phil up. The Dark Souls grandma. All these people. Anybody can play a game.
Just say that.
Year, which is the National Fighting Game Tournament for Street Fighter and other fighting games, they actually had a females only Super Street Fighter 4 tournament, and the stipulation was that in order to get into that tournament, the female had to at least enter the regular tournament as well, which included both males and females. And then if they did that, they had the option to enter this females-only tournament. And actually, very few females even entered this tournament. A lot of them felt like self-conscious to do it. And
I wouldn't want to either. I wouldn't want to be in a blacks-only tournament.
Yeah.
That seems kind of like...
I can understand it with the... we want to celebrate women, so we're going to do this. Because I know a lot of the... people in the NRS community and the FCC community that do run these like Queen of the Hills once, 2 times a month. Hey, this is a women's only tournament.
I'm sick of him saying female.
Yeah, it's kind of like animalistic at this point. It's like classification.
But I can understand that. But you're at the tournament to compete. Yeah. I don't think you want to just go over here and just go, but you do a good job too, like a participation trophy of the thing.
You're the 28th best overall, but you're the number 1 female. It's like, does that feel good?
Yeah. Black only Street Fighter is just Def Jam. Segregated fighting game tournament.
It's nuts. Fat only tournament.
It was kind of bullshit because a lot of people got a lot of, or I want to say, a lot of people gave the girls a lot of shit for no fucking reason. Actually, basically saying their gameplay was nowhere near as good as the males' gameplay.
Who said that, Phil?
To be completely honest, if you watch the footage, sure, they weren't as good as the top professional males would enter the tournament. But I'm also sure these girls weren't sitting there for fucking months on end since the game came out, like some of these guys who are treating it like a professional job. Get that in a second. And basically,
What do you mean you're gonna get that in a second?
How about
It's
you get
ringing
it now.
When it stops ringing in a second, you can't get it anymore.
Pedal only tournament. Oh wait, that's Smash. Woof.
It's not great.
Kind of an important thing. This was just something cool for them to do. Yes, maybe they enjoyed competitive games, but they weren't as hardcore into it as the guys.
Phil, I am not into whatever you're saying because your phone is overpowering my attention.
Plus, he's got whatever fan or AC that is in the background just a buzzing.
This is the unboxing of Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns all over again. He's ignoring this blaring noise and just keep it going.
And it's odd because he has to, his mindset is purely just, what I'm saying is so important, they're going to listen to me and not even care about that noise in the background.
I, for one, don't necessarily believe there's any natural reason that a guy should be better at a video game than a girl. So I was actually happy to see this females-only event, and Jesus Christ, someone's farting into my answering machine. I was personally happy to see this female.
What would he have done if it was some important information?
Why does he have a house phone?
This is 2010, to be fair. People still had a lot of house phones.
I think that was dead at that point.
I'd say the mid-2010s is where people just stopped caring about them.
I think that was big dead.
When the event happened, I wish that more guys would support getting women into video games rather than being very, defensive about it and saying, oh, they suck and why should they enter and stuff like that. I
Phil,
think that it's
if you're hearing this, what are you doing to prevent that? Are you talking to these people just going, don't say that? Or you just listen passively and just going, yeah, I'll talk about this later on in Ask the King when I email this to myself.
Does Phil have a house phone right now?
No, he got rid of it to save costs.
Yeah, you're probably right, guy with 2 names. He probably got roped into the bundle.
Opportunity, and I would love to see more women participate. And I think it should be an equal playing field. I don't think that any woman should feel
it is an equal playing field. Any woman can be as good as any man in the field if they put in the work.
What are you talking about?
Intimidated to jump into video games and to your
goes into a rant about why women are worse than men. Oh, but I wish men would stop giving women shit about video games.
Literally breadwinners, backbreakers.
The video games, and to your question, Pandora, you say, what are your thoughts? People think that girls shouldn't play video games. That's preposterous. Why? I mean, that's just a fucking sexist-ass attitude, and it needs to go away. It has no place in today's modern society.
So he truly understood what the question was, But he went a totally different direction on the question.
Nuts. He could have just said that. He could have opened with that and then said all that other garbage.
I'm watching a girl who plays competitive LOL, League of Legends. I'm a man, and if I say if I play with her, she would destroy me in the game.
Yeah. It's just, Phil just went so far with this, and it's like, I don't understand why your thought process, number one, to not just simply go, yeah, they should. Who cares?
Our next question is from Dragon Master B101.
Why?
It's just him in front of a Nazi flag.
Did he put this up purposely as a fan art?
This was fan art.
And he put it on his priest.
Yes.
He has to understand the optics of this, right?
You would think.
Because all it would take is somebody photoshopping out the Wolfenstein, and it looks very bad to have DSP Gaming next to this.
And his little, extremely straight arm.
And his little baby hand.
The perspective is all over the place with this. But they got that flag right.
Our next question is from Dragon Master B101. Dragon Master.
What was
Who are you pointing to, Phil?
Master asked the following. Phil, I know that you're in your 40s now. Oh, do I look it? I look like I'm like 80. And you have a balance between your private and work life, which is fine. Why don't you want to have a child? Is it because both you and your significant other don't want it? Is it because you think financially you won't be able to handle it? I find it strange because you seem like you would be an awesome and strict but wise father.
What makes you think he would be an awesome parent?
Phil barely takes care of Jasper.
Yes.
An actual baby would be thrown across the room.
Panda Lee was talking to him. He put his headphones on and went, "Can't hear you, headphones." That kid would just be crying in the other room, and he's like, "This is woman's work. Take care of that kid.
Waddle on over there."
It's too personal to answer, then I understand this, but I'm curious. You and Kat are both responsible adults, and I personally think it's sad to pass off on this earth with no bloodline to continue to honor your name and keep your family history tree going. I hope that your reasoning is not due to any animosity you think your child would receive due to your work life. Always wishing you the best, my guy. Keep doing you. All right, before we get to the real answer, let's answer here's the answer for the trolls that they can clip, and then they can not pay attention to the real answer.
He called you out, DA. He knew it.
He knows what's up. He got me. Next clip.
DSP showers a solid 2 times a week, so he legitimately goes, "Oh, I hopped out of the shower."
Designated shower days.
Well, if I have a kid, I'd have to spend all my money on the kid. How would I afford to play mobile games and pull all day and try to get, superstars and cards and shit?
Phil, this is called putting a lampshade on it. Acknowledging the insanity of something when it actually is just that thing.
Yeah. This
has to be a reason based upon them leaks.
Right? There you go. So there's the dumb answer. I got it out of the way. Now let them clip that and let them do bullshit with it. Okay, let's give the real answer. There's tons of factors here. Okay? Factor number 1. I'm 40 years old. To have a kid at 40 is a daunting task.
Based on what?
He's 40, but Kat is like 31.
Okay, no. Based on what would
Chris
it
the
be a
Chilled
daunting
says,
task?
Does this bozo not know how to manage his money?
Oh, he can't manage his money.
not.
Absolutely not.
Look behind him.
Phil makes, by minimum, $100K a year. To this day, by minimum, $100K a year.
If you want to take away taxes, let's just say 60.
No, even with taxes. No, because he has to pay the taxes.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about after you take out whatever income tax is gonna be, his take home is $100K. Cause his actual income is typically like 119, 124. I'm taking away that 19. I'm taking away that 24. I'm talking about strictly $100K take home a year, and he's got nothing to show for it.
He's too old.
How much of this was bought out of his pocket to enhance his stream, and how much was gifted by fans?
None of this was bought out of his pocket outside of the PS5, but I think that was gifted as well.
No, the PS5 was definitely bought because he wanted it day one. The Series X was gifted by a fan who just happened to have it sitting around for a year and a half.
But yeah, like the Leonardo and the Mario, those were just bought just for him to have, but none of these are to enhance his stream.
Yes.
Why? Because I want to see that kid grow up and I want to be there for their formative years.
And you just can't if you're 40.
Phil,
He's got 1 foot in the grave.
By the time your kid goes to college, you will not even hit 60 if you were to have a kid right now. Do you think you're gonna die at 49, Phil?
Unless he thinks he's gonna die at 49 because of his lingering behind the scenes health issues that he doesn't want to talk about.
So with his sedentary lifestyle, that's probably his issue. He knows he can't run around with the kid because he ain't got no muscles.
Age has nothing to do with it.
No, nothing.
And he's talking about watching the kid grow up. Like, why are you prevented from watching the kid grow up?
Do you think a 55-year-old LeBron James can't play basketball with a bunch of 11-year-olds in the park just having fun with them? They'll get a workout. He'll have some fun with them.
And I wonder if you ask Phil, how old does he feel right now? He wouldn't say 40. He'd say like 20, 29, something like that. So what makes you think when you're 50, you're going to feel like 50? What do you think you're just going to, as soon as you hit 50, just...
Maximilian is 39. He recently had a kid. What is this Dumbo talking about? He is so dumb.
Having a kid in your early 30s is good. It's all about mentality. Yeah, and like I said, Kat is in her early 30s. So he's just talking about himself.
It's about when you're ready. Nothing to do with your age. You can have a kid at 50 if you feel like that's when you think you're ready.
And, I mean, luckily for me right now, do I have any debilitating illnesses? No. Do I have illnesses? Yes, I do. Do I tell you guys about them? No, I don't. You guys have no idea. All you know...
What illnesses could he possibly have?
It's sympathy baiting.
Yes. Without even telling you what you should be sympathizing.
I have nebulous illnesses, y'all. I've got illnesses. And that's all it is.
Cotton Candy Empress of Hope says, to be fair, Max is a good streamer and an actual human.
An actual human. Phil is essentially shaving his head, coming back one day and just going, I have illnesses I can't tell y'all about. Like, you're immediately going to go, does he have the big K's?
Because he's not showing anything. He's talking about power walking and crap like that. Unless he's got diabetes or something.
With guy with two names just said. But even then, if you got diabetes, he shouldn't be drinking all of those. He should be eating all those ridiculous foods. Yeah. He should be door dashing McDonald's at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Unless he's just thinking of like, once I hit 50, my foot is just going to fall off from gout. That's just what happens, you guys. You don't know.
That I have gout. You don't...
Phil, gout can be managed by having a more proper diet that has nothing to do with preventing you from being able to play with your child and run around. And don't eat your red meats. Sacrifice a little for longevity.
And it's not like your gout is going to be 24/7. It's going to flare up one day and then be out for the rest of the month. And then that one day you can't play with your kid. But hey, maybe you can play video games with them. Unless it's a girl. Because the dexterity or whatever.
You're not aware of my other
medical The big K, that's a Metalocalypse joke. It's the big K cancer. They Squiscar and...
Nor would I feel like sharing them with you at this time. But I have them, and yeah, I'm not...
I won't share with you. I will share with you that I do have them, but I will not share what they are.
What the...
Just know they are problems.
Not in perfect health, okay? I wish I was in better health, but I'm not in perfect health, all right? There's a chance that I could pass away earlier than I would like. I would like to be here till I'm 100, but I doubt it, right? Now, if I'm going to have a kid
doubt it.
today, let's say I had a kid today, this very day, right? So now I'm going to be 60-something years old before they're really an adult, right?
Yes, what's wrong with that? They're out of the house when you hit the age of retirement for a normal person.
Yes.
What if they get married, have a family? Now, don't you want to have a grandfather? Well, I'm already going to be super old. You know, I'm not going to be...
It's not
A
your
grandfather's-
responsibility to be alive, Phil.
Yeah, but as a grandkid or anything. Like, what are you talking about?
He's thinking 2 generations ahead. To make this excuse of just, why not just go, I don't want to have a kid. I just don't want to. Some people just don't want to, and I don't want to. But no, I'm going to be...
The Cotton Candy Empress of Hope says, my mom is 65. Don't diss my mom, you chose. I turned 31 in 2 weeks.
It's just that easy. I don't care how old you are, as long as it's safe to do so. I don't care if a person has a child when they're 60.
That's not safe to do so.
No, for the man, not the woman.
No, for the woman, yeah. And the baby.
No, that's what I'm saying. A guy having a baby.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
With like a 35, 40-year-old.
60-year-old pumps a
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like
No, it's totally unsafe for a woman after a certain age.
around. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel that having a kid at 40 is kind of late. That's number one. That's just my take. You can completely disagree with that. I think that's kind of old. My parents had me when they were younger, you know? So
Phil is such a traditionalist. He wants to be a grandpa by the time
Notera
he's
says,
50.
I think the best answer he could give is not wanting to subject a kid to being the child of DSP. Imagine the bullying.
Oh, I do think about if you had a kid and the kids just look up DSP, he just comes waddling up to pick him up. It's like, is this in DSP Gaming on YouTube? That's your daddy? And he would absolutely get bullied.
It would be the, at least my mama don't have an OnlyFans name, but for DSP. At least my daddy not DSP.
That kid couldn't say anything. It would legit just have to be a posse of lol-cow kids. Just like
Just a
Wings
group.
kids and just LTG kid and Phil kid. It's just like, yeah, we just here. Ain't nobody else going with us.
What are, cows? Cows? Baby cows? Just like lol cows.
Calves.
That's what they have to be.
they were there for me for my formative years and everything. It was a little different. I think they were weird.
Dude, why? There should be...
formative year.
Yeah, screw that. There should be an artist that creates a cartoon of the offsprings of the lol cows.
That would be so good. Surprised it hasn't been done.
For my formative years and everything. It was a little different. I think it would be a little different. That's factor number one.
What would be different about it? What did your parents provide you or be able to do in their younger age that you wouldn't be able to do in your older age?
What could they do at 35 that you couldn't do at 55?
It doesn't feel like they did anything physical with the kid.
Yeah.
They just bought toys for him. Who cares how old they are if that's the case?
Factor number two. In my lifetime, all right, never did I consider myself one of those people who basically aspired to be a dad or thought that being a parent was some kind of an important, necessary part of life, okay? I'll be honest with you guys.
Who said that?
You guys may not like this take, but this is my honest take. Having a kid is fucking easy.
Just pop out the kid, woman. It's your job. It's easy. Having a kid is easy. Just do it. Phil is looking in the mindset of pump and dump. Not the woman carrying the baby for all them.
He's truly about to say having a kid is easy, but raising a kid is hard or something.
Yes. But it's not easy.
But it's truly not easy, especially for the woman.
Having a child is an easy thing to do. Having sex with someone of the opposite gender, impregnating them, getting them pregnant, and then having the baby, that's the easy part.
Pause. Tell me that doesn't sound like an alien.
It truly does. Pumping it into the opposite gender.
The opposite gender, impregnating them, getting them pregnant.
In exchange of fluids that would fertilize the egg within the female host.
9-month gestation period.
If everything is normal. My grandfather was 56 years old when he had my mother. Who gives a
Who cares? Pop them kids out.
Pop them legs open. Work that wrist with the pots.
It's easy. Impregnating a woman is easy.
Hard part is everything that comes after. All right?
You see, he didn't mention giving birth.
Nope, he didn't mention the giving birth. He didn't mention the morning sickness. He didn't look at it any part.
Postpartum depression.
He didn't look at it any part of the woman's issue with it. Just strictly, I as a man could have sex and blast my baby juice into a woman, and
then
now
that's so easy.
that's so easy to do.
Anko says, I refuse to believe that Phil is a real person.
He's not. That mask is gonna fall off one day, and it's gonna be half a Terminator face, and nobody's gonna be surprised. It's like, oh, only a robot? There's not an alien inside of him controlling it or anything. He hasn't been birthed by a wizard.
REDPILLEDDSP. He is the top G. Stop complaining. You women have it easy, and I am alpha and give birth women.
Give birth with
It's easy. You heard him.
Just the fact that you have a kid doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. It's bullshit.
Somebody asked earlier, yes, he does have a pet. He used to have gerbils with his ex-girlfriend, Panda Lee, and they died fairly quickly. Hamsters. And now he has a cat, and the cat hates him. It's not even like, this is playful. The cat hates that guy.
People, it's such a special thing to be a dad or a mom. Anyone could do that.
No, they can't. There are infertile people. There are women whose bodies are not built for pregnancy, who have nothing but constant miscarriages. It is not a 100% guarantee that just because you get pregnant, you will have a kid.
And going on the other side of the street, anybody can be a great parent. Well, some people just don't have that capability. Some people are just pieces of... Some people are too young and got somebody pregnant and we're not ready for it, so they're not ready to be a great parent.
Some people have poor financial stability. So now everybody's kind of suffering because they can't really take care of the kid. Is there a clip with him of the cat? Yes, there's one where he's quote unquote playing with the cat and Jasper is just constantly trying to bite him. Not that playful type of nipping cats do. No, he's trying to take that bastard's hand off.
Because he's spraying them, and by all reports, spraying them is not a way for discipline, because that just makes them hate you and not fear the bottle.
Yeah, he sprays his... I hate getting the bottle, but I have to when he starts chewing on cords. And he'll just give him the bottle.
Anything special at all. What's special is the people who take that responsibility seriously and put in the time, the money, the dedication, the love.
You don't need the money. You need enough money to clothe them, to buy their diapers, formula if you're weaning them off of breast milk or don't want to breastfeed them. You need money for that. I would rather a parent be around and barely be able to afford all the stuff we have than a parent that's not around but can throw around $10,000 a month on me.
But is Phil saying that he can't provide these things?
Where is he going with this? Because his business would suffer. I can't stream 6 to 7 to 8 hours a day because I'd have to be taking care of the kid.
Then that's what the number one point is. It's not the fact that he's too old. It's that baby getting in the way of my money.
That DSP is not real. He's a massive stand that's user is the whole internet. His ability is mass confusion.
Of the attention to make a beautiful human being out of what you created. That's the difference. And sadly on this planet, We have far too many people who just think the act of procreation is something special and don't understand that it's actually everything that comes after that.
The miracle of childbirth. What do you mean?
Why are you talking about these people? Who are these people? What the are you talking about? It's just did you want to have a kid, Phil? Why are you talking about people who just like have a kid and that's the easy part, like you said?
Special, not the act itself. Okay? So for me, if I were going to procreate, I want to be sure.
If I was going to engage in human procreation
with a gender of the opposite sex for the express purpose of birthing a child within 9 months,
he's not human. If I were to engage in procreation,
that's a
crazy
medical
sentence. Textbook of it's sex ed stuff.
It's like in vitro fertilization. Like, we're gonna engage in procreation. The act of inseminating the female reproductive organ. Dude, he is so afeared of sex.
Man, he's something. And whatever that thing is, he's a lot of it.
I legitimately would not be
The
shocked
Cotton
if
Candy
Phil was
Empress of Hope
asexual.
says, 90% of these questions are just yes or no, but this nonsense game has the rather boldness for 13 minutes.
That's
easy.
Phil!
Like 3 sentences. No, I don't want to have a kid. Maybe before, but not right now. It's just not really feasible right now.
If I was in a better financial stability situation, like if I had paid off my house in its entirety, if I was done with back taxes, maybe I could have a conversation with my wife about it. But as it stands right now, I don't want kids. She doesn't want kids. So there's no kids in the foreseeable future. Maybe one day, not right now.
Done.
That is the answer. Donezo.
No, but he's talking about in the act of procreation. Engaging in intercourse for procreation.
Okay? So for me, if I were going to procreate,
I was going to procreate.
I want to be sure that that is a being that's going to grow up.
If I was going to procreate, I'd want to make sure that's a being that's going to grow up.
Phil,
It's so
clinical. This has nothing to do with your age, it has only to do with your lack of being able to take responsibility and your lack of ability,
Financial stability,
and all of that stuff. Because no matter how old you are, you can still raise a great child if you have the capability to do so. But you do not.
Oh yeah, he's an alien. There was never any doubt.
That is a being that's going to grow up in a healthy household, in a place where there's morality, in a place where there's protection, in a place where everything's taken care of so they can have a good education. And you know what I'm saying? All those things are key. Now, I have the kid first, then I think about all that shit after the fact. No, I would never do that. I would absolutely, positively never do that. Okay, that's not me as a person, all right? So for me, you take a look at my life, and the tumultuous life I've lived in the last 14 years that I've been a content creator, and to some extent the last 11 years that I've done.
What was Phil's bankruptcy?
It was like 3 years ago.
He is getting close to being able to get those good credits again, good credit cards. Sounds like a great time to think about a kid then.
Nope, he's too old. He would want to raise a kid in a household of love and morality, whatever that means for Phil.
Yeah, morality is different for different people. Like,
Job, and you say at any point during that,
his arm is a twig.
It's disgusting.
It is a straight line. There is not a hint of muscle.
I think it was Tevin that said he was fat before, but now he looks like unhealthy skinny. Like he lost weight in the wrong way.
Legitimately, how is his face still kind of chunky, but his arms? Let's not even talk about the fact that his arms are just straight, stark white. How is his arms this thin? It looks photoshopped.
Yeah, that looks fake. Yeah, I made a Gangsta's Paradise reference. What of it?
He talks about refinancing his home. He's not doing that.
That's what he's waiting for, so he can start wrapping up debts into that house.
What? How can Phil even understand the complexities of doing that? Or is he just gonna take the easiest, simplest route of having somebody else do it for him?
Pay them whatever, and then they do it.
Have I been in a point in my life where I felt that things were safe or steady? Well, yes and no. All right? The funny part about what I do for a living, okay, is that I basically have had...
He has been picking stuff off his body for the past year, and I don't know what is wrong with his body.
He's growing fungus, so he's just like...
It can't even be like skin cancer because he doesn't go outside.
maybe it's opposite skin cancer. You need the sun.
Like skin atrophy, like vitamin D, the lack of it just causing his skin to fall off.
And you recognize the reference, Triton. What does that say about you?
Most stable job ever in my life right here. Literally me sitting here, putting out content on the internet with all of you is the most stable thing I've ever done.
That is a lie. This is a volatile thing because any given day you can make $700 or you can make $40.
Just last night he was complaining about making $1.
Cook!
No. That's weird. Cook should not still be available. Did I save the settings? Whatever. This is stupid.
He was complaining about halfway throughout his stream. He said, we've made $1. So it's not. If I go to my job tomorrow, I know how much I'm going to make. Unless they put me out because it's a little slow, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But I know for sure my paycheck is going to say whatever number that is, the hours that I worked. You could work in 80 hours and get $1,000. You could work 1 hour and get $1,000. You don't know what you're going to make.
Oh, so Cook, Gnaw, and one more thing is still non-Phil stuff.
And I've done fast food jobs. I've done retail jobs. I had office jobs that were supposed to be cushy jobs that as long as you work hard, you get promoted, you get with the in crowd, and the next thing you know, you got a career, you got a job for life. I've done it all.
That's not at all. That's 3 things, Phil.
But your jobs there were stable. Your office job absolutely was stable. Your retail job absolutely was stable.
That's why he went to that condo, to be closer to his job.
Every one of them has let me down. Literally every... Cook!
He is not cooking. Every one of them has let you down, but so has gaming.
Yes.
You were let down literally last night by getting $8.
You had to stop the beg tweets because people were letting you down by not giving you money.
Because people were cooking you in the comments.
Every job that I had let me down. The only one that didn't was my very first job I ever had, where I worked for VJ. His name was VJ, and he was a young Indian man who owned this everything yogurt and salad.
Why did we need to know that he was a young Indian man? What does that do for this story?
Cafe in Connecticut. VJ was the best boss I've ever had in my life, and probably will remain the best boss I ever had till the day I die.
You're your own boss.
What does this speak about the volatility of your office job?
Yeah, no. Because my boss was... your job is still more stable than it is right now. Phil, for the next week, you could make $13 despite working 35 hours. You can make $13,000. Do you not understand how volatile of a situation that is?
It's almost the exact definition.
Because he was a nice guy, and even though, quite frankly, minimum wage was kind of underpaid for the work I was doing, he gave me the hours I needed. He was a friend to me outside of just being my boss. That was the one job in my life that I actually didn't like, but I actually liked. I didn't like the job, but I liked being there because the boss was a nice guy and the people there were good. Outside of that, anything I've ever done in my life was a waste of time. And completely, you know what I'm saying?
It was
How
all about
is
the volatility of the jobs, not
gaining experience, gaining human emotions.
making connections. You've got an A certification. That's transferable, but you didn't.
So the thing is, I can argue that this job I'm doing right now is the best job I've ever had and the most stable, and even then it's not stable. Right? Because look at
This is not stable, period, Phil. Stability would be a, no matter what, I'm going to make a minimum of $40,000 this year.
It's a salary.
Yes. A salary is stable. This is not a salaried job. Your channel could go away tomorrow, and what do you do?
He's talked about money more than almost anything. More than I'm too old at this point.
this shit that happened.
I said this from the beginning of the stream. Being a streamer is very difficult. Absolutely, because you've got to market. Half of it is marketing, or you gotta hope a clip or two goes viral so people may check you out sometime. It is a constant push for more money, or not more money, more viewers, more engagement, this type of stuff. There's absolutely those people that are just going to sit back, pop on a stream, go, hey, I'm having fun with the 6-7 people that are in there. And they're completely fine with that for the rest of their quote-unquote streaming career. But being a streamer as a full-time job is work. And if you're not good at it, you will find yourself in an unenviable position, because you will lose a ton of money like DSP has done.
This month, I have $1,000 less income. Why? Trolling. People
Trolls.
Why isn't it that I'm not very good?
No, it's trolls. It's them. Capital T, them.
Phil believes he's putting out the best content every day for an audience that is completely receptive to it. And they would all be engaging as high as they possibly could if it wasn't for the possibility of them being made fun of.
using the broken copyright system of YouTube, and I pay for it. Why? Is that fair? No, but that's life. That's how it is. They're doing this.
Your jobs weren't fair because you ain't like them, and you ain't advanced in how you thought you should have. But you knew at the end of the day, if you worked those 80 hours, you were taking home roughly this amount. And you can... The thing is, with those types of jobs, you can plan for them. You can budget and manage for them. Because I know I'm going to work 80 hours in this pay period. I know the rough amount of money I'm going to get. So I can plan what I'm going to do after the fact. This whole streaming thing, you can't plan for...
And he can't, and he hasn't.
And he hasn't. Every day he asks for this amount because he can't plan for anything in the future.
This is things like this. I might have 1 month where everything's great, and the next month everything tanks. You never know.
Stable.
What's going to happen, right?
You never know what's going to happen. Stability. That is literally the opposite. That is complete volatility.
He's lost in the sauce.
He forgot his original
point.
He's not lost in the sauce. He's an idiot.
Or he's hoping that you
Mark Month says,
are going to be lost in the sauce.
would never be a full-time streamer. He gets called a furry scammer by an entire chat every Saturday. No way can he last full-time.
I could last, but there would be a lot more timeouts.
Unironic timeouts.
No.
So all that being said, yeah, that is a factor. Absolutely, the fact that this is what I do for a living has been a factor. And yes, what Dragon Master directly references here, I would hope that part of your reasoning is not due to the animosity you think your child would receive due to your work life. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Positively, 100%. I'm afraid that if I ever had a kid, this kid would be harassed forever.
That is
He's lying.
He get out of here.
This is
You
not
don't
a
give
single
a
thought in his mind.
You don't give a about that.
Not a single thought in his mind.
You personally don't want kids, period.
But he's just making as many excuses as he possibly can.
To justify
Yep.
him just going, I don't want kids. There are people out there that just do not want kids.
And he could just say that. And that's fine.
And it's fine to just say, hey, I don't want kids.
Why? Nothing logical. Nothing that makes sense. The people who harass me online don't make sense. So I know that they would take...
Phil,
Phil.
you take advantage of people with mental deficiencies practically daily. I think trolling you is an appropriate thing.
get the step beyond. It's not just harassing Phil anymore. It's harassing his family members. It's harassing everyone around the periphery of him that have nothing to do with him, but because they're even close to him, they get affected. It's harassing his supporters.
I do not think that there will be people, but I do not think that there's going to be so many people that's going to harass a child.
No.
Adults on Kiwi farms. Now the kids, that's their own little thing. Mm-hmm. But nobody's going to walk up in whatever elementary school looking for little Phil Jr.
Again, they saw him in the mall with Panda Lee once. Nobody ran up and threw like a thing horchata on him.
Or pushed him down or anything.
His moderators, anyone on the
Trolls
internet.
would DH themselves, find out what school Phil's kid is, and enroll it to troll them.
If video essay creators explain themselves as much as he is right now, there would be a lot more quality content.
Yes and no. Because he's just
of Hope says,
in a circle.
Then you should have been a better person for the last 40 years, Phil.
That is also a thing. It's his fault.
His supporters, his moderators, anyone on the internet who has something positive to say to Phil, they get harassed. Oh, Phil's going to have a kid? Harass the kid. It would never end. And it's just sad. It's just sad that that's reality, but that's reality for me. My wife and I have grown to a point where we realized that we will have to put up with this forever, but we've kind of become numb to it to the point.
Why isn't she here then?
Yeah.
Why is she on the stream?
What is she numb to?
She's so afraid of the harassment. She refuses to participate in any of your streams.
She is not numb to it. She ran out of that Halloween stream.
Stop with this we're numb to it bullshit, dude.
You're not numb to it. You're talking about it.
If
you
were
begin this with, here's what the trolls are going to say, mobile games, blah, blah. You're not numb to it. You went first and foremost to trolls.
Man, just say this. I don't want a child. It's not that hard. It's only 4 words.
It's so simple to just say that. But he feels like he needs to justify himself.
Where I don't think that anything they do will like end my life or end my business. You know what I'm saying? They've tried at every angle and it failed.
Phil, you cry about your business on a near daily basis.
You talk about how you can't get sponsorships and you can't make connections and all this stuff.
We'll definitely have to put up with bullshit forever, and there will always be things that are going to happen that will be annoying. I lost revenue this month because of a troll. My channel got temporarily shut down because of a troll. Some harassment.
Alfonso Rodriguez says, if DA has kids, there will be a lot of DA 445 running around.
If I had kids, I would not mention it. No,
Isaiah, don't do this. Not today.
This is a Phil
not for
stream.
Phil. Thank you for the super
We
chat.
should be losing money at this point.
Like you donating to him? Thanks for re-upping your membership, Master
Thank
Jakes.
you for the super chat. I got nothing with that.
The Cotton Candy Empress of Hope says, got to defend that fragile ego.
Pre-defend.
Real life because of a troll. Because I don't tell you guys about that on purpose. Because when you give them the attention for the shit they do, they just do it more.
You give them attention.
Yes.
Every single day.
Constantly.
Even minute trolls, people in your chat that ask what you believe to be innocuous questions, just questions that are just like whatever, and then you go on a big old toxic rant. That's a troll getting to you.
Okay? But all that being said, Squeakiness outside. I think there's a bird outside. You hear that? You hear that, Jasper? I hear it too. Squeakiness outside. I think there was a
Could you go
creature.
back to when he said Jasper?
I think there's a bird outside. You hear that? You hear that, Jasper? I hear it too.
He calls Jasper Derek a lot, and he was about to again. Listen for the dit.
Why does he call
Listen
him Derek?
for
'Cause
the
Jasper is his son and Derek is his son.
It's like his son, but listen for
No,
that
it's his son.
Jasper.
Being said, squeakiness outside. I think there's a bird outside. You hear that? You hear that, Jasper? I hear it too.
Because he was about to say Derek. Then he was trying to fix it to Derek. And then he realized, oh no, this is
There's
Jasper.
something there. There's something weird there.
Being said, squeakiness outside. I think there's a bird outside. You hear that? You hear that, Jasper? I hear it too. Squeakiness outside. I think there was a creature.
It's like when our mom used to call us each other's names when she's trying to address
But
one
this
of
is a cat and a person that you've not seen who has a horrible.
Yeah, I've
trip.
never been like, hey, DA, a GB.
It's the bird. There's a loud bird out there. We have the window open. It's going making all kinds of noise. Anyway, all that stuff being said, okay, there's just a ton of factors. And at this point in my life, I'm 40 years old. I'm not gonna have a kid. All right, Kat and I, we have no desire to have a child. You know what I mean? If we already have a life where we feel we don't spend enough time together, because I'm in this office 6 days a week working just to make ends meet. If she is really trying to get better hours and a better job, and she's been doing it for years and hasn't been able to, what the hell makes us think we can raise a kid?
Pause.
How would that
And
even
see,
ever...
that's a whole nother excuse now.
Yep.
It's just more and more stacking on.
You can do react streams with your kid
Yeah.
in the room. You don't need to pay attention to a video react stream like you do a video game.
You
So
can spend
those days where Kat, you see her schedule to go, okay, mainstream is react stream.
happen, right? And again, we're the kind of people where it's not about having the kid is the magical thing and then you figure it out after the fact. That's bullshit. Literally anyone on this fucking planet, unless you have an issue with your reproductive system, which some people do, and that's unfortunate. But most people can just have a kid. It's not a big deal. You're not...
It's not
is
a big deal. No, it's not.
Dude.
You can just have a kid. It's not a
It is
big deal.
Big deal.
No,
to
it's
have a
not.
child. It's such a big deal that some countries have legislation about childbearing.
It's so easy. You can just do it.
Phil is a disgusting monster of a person.
some special, amazing achievement in your life because you had the kid. What's amazing is that you raised the person to be an awesome, moral person that adds to human society as a whole. That's the
human society as a whole.
This is beyond this robot. He is a lizard man from the underground, just trying to incorporate himself. What dead draw?
It's me somehow getting on the cross.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the memes and stuff in the Discord later anyway, so we'll put up the pic there.
awesome part that you have to pull off. That's the tough work, okay? And I just don't see it happening with us, okay? That's all I can say about that. All right? It's not going to happen. It's out of the cards. If anything, for our life, we may have some pets like Jasper and stuff like that. That will be our outlet for us to feel like parents, and that's about it.
If you treated your kid the way you treat Jasper, do you think Phil is a spanker?
Yes, he would be. Because he's not good with words. He knows he's
not
stubborn.
patient.
He's not patient. He knows he's stubborn, so that the kid's going to be stubborn. So he can't deal with that. So he's just going to resort to just slapping him around. Awesome moral
The Cotton
person.
Candy Empress of Hope says, if you get more pets, I'm going to call PETA.
Phil is going to be a cat person. I'm shocked they don't already have a companion for Jasper.
That's all we can do. How on earth would I raise a kid when I don't have enough time to spend with my wife as it is?
Why don't you have enough time for
Yeah.
you? Because you make your own hours. You make your own schedule. You could do 5 days a week instead of 7. But it's such a stable job.
You can do 5 days a week, but work an hour more each day.
Which would make up for it. No.
You just ain't got the time.
I just don't.
We haven't gone on a honeymoon. We have arguably 1 day a week to spend together. How am I going to raise a kid, man? It ain't going to happen. Okay.
He threatened to slap an 11-year-old. That is correct.
The very last chapter.
What was it?
You know what it was.
Master Jinx says, having a child is so easy, I might just going to randomly pop one out right now.
Yeah, it's so easy. Here, just have a kid. It's the pizza, y'all.
That pizza is legitimately one of the worst competent attempts at a pizza
It
I've
ain't
ever
food.
seen. It ain't food.
The very last chapter of that playthrough also got supposedly a copyright claim from Take-Two Games. I again counterclaimed it and it was cleared up. So in my honest opinion, I don't think
That right arm is doing a lot of work right now.
it was Rockstar or Take-Two or anyone like that who's been doing it. I think it's malicious people who basically are jealous, are haters, people who just want to shit on your fucking in the middle of your living room floor and give you a ruin your day and give you a bad experience.
Pause. I'm like, was this a mistake? But I remember thinking like, okay, let's see how he addresses the trolls back then. And it's the same jealous of a fat man in an overstretched static shirt drinking a Powerade Zero. Oh man.
Those are the people that are out there, and yeah, it's pretty sad, but there are people who think that because they can fool a site like YouTube into thinking that there's a copyright claim against someone, they see that as like power, and they're like, yes, I have no real power in my real life because I'm a fucking loser who lives in his parents' basement, but I can do this.
The
I can
classic.
The classic.
classic.
You live in your parents' basement.
The
That's why.
classic.
It can't just be that you're a software engineer.
Nope, it just
That you're a manager of an investment firm.
It can't just-
but you feel reprehensible and it's fun to troll them.
It can't be as simple as that. No, you have to just degrade them in any way possible. And now I'm just gonna use this blanket statement. I don't know this person, but they must.
come this way, and that's how I'm going to get off, because I feel like I have some kind of virtual power by fooling a website. There are actually malicious people like that, if you can believe it, in the world, so...
Take these little edits for a ride.
Is that where I got my snort from? Because it sounds almost exactly like it.
that, if you can believe it, in the world, so... Next question, it says, I was not sure you can...
I don't know what's worse, the snort or the little swallow smack he does with it.
It's the snort.
I hate the smack.
like that, if you can believe it, in the world, so... Next question, it says, I was out Shoryuken the other day, and I saw a bunch of guys with
Master
old
Jinx
joint-
says, what if my parents' basement is very comfy?
Yeah. You know, okay. What if you're just not financially stable right now and you're trying to build up a little bit of money?
Yeah, if you've got the parents that have the space for you, and you're just trying to build up money for your own place, especially in today's housing market, I don't give a shit.
But it's an insult. It's an easy insult.
He's talking trash about you. So he's probably saying there's people that seem to be have
Can
been
you get
part of
the
the
full
Shoryuken
beginning of the question?
in the world. So next question, it says, I was out Shoryuken the other day, and I saw a bunch of guys with old join dates talking trash about you. So he's probably saying there's people that seem to be have been part of the Shoryuken.com community for quite a long time, and they were talking trash about me. I'm not surprised. He says, so naturally I was like, what the fuck? I tried asking what their problem was, and they just told me, oh, you don't know him from back in the day. It's a long story. Anyway, I'm assuming there's a history between you and the...
I don't think that's what they said. I'm sure they had many a story to be like, yo, this dude trash.
Is this an actual person asking the question?
We always have to ask these questions.
Because who was going to the Shoryuken forums that was also a fan of Phil and would write to Phil for his Ask the King, I'm gonna say Queen, Ask the King segments?
The fighting game community. No, not between the fighting game community, between me and the Shoryuken.com community. Let's get that straight.
No. The fighting game community, there were several people that were gonna fight you. Jaha was gonna beat the shit out of you.
You called him mad drunk to some call-in show and was threatening somebody.
Triforce. Threatening Triforce of all people. Yeah, so just so you know, talking all that smack, you know how we get down in the streets. Like, you, why are you? Oh my God.
It seems like you've had haters even before you were on YouTube. Absolutely.
Okay, where do they come from and why? I can count on one hand the number of quote-unquote haters I've had.
He did this to himself. He called himself the king of hate.
Legitimately!
He perpetuated that mentality, and now he's just like, what the f is these haters?
Is this how you became known as the king of hate? Sincerely, Rich. Well, Rich, it's a long story. I'm not going to get into it. Let me put it to you this way. Way before I even thought of putting a video on YouTube, I was a prominent person in the Shoryuken.com.
Drayton, I'd say we have, as far as the list exists goes, we have 2 haters maybe.
Yeah, there's nobody who's constantly coming back and just... People will drop a comment, dislike, and leave.
Street Fighter community. I started out as just a big mouth who sucked. Started going to tournaments, actually got good, started winning at tournaments and placing at tournaments.
What is with this black lady
I was about to
head?
say, you see that little bit of a... He put some stank on that one. I got started good.
A big mouth who sucked. Started going to tournaments, actually got good, started winning at tournaments and placing at tournaments. And this was, I'd probably say, around the year 2000. As time progressed, I actually started traveling around the country to play. And, you know, it would be funny because I would always be considered the underdog. And if I beat anyone good, it would be...
Why would you be considered the underdog, Phil?
Okay, so here's the thing. Phil is saying a lot of the things that happened to me outside of being a big mouth and a piece of shit in my fighting game community. There have been a lot of times where I've gotten out of pools where I placed high in tournaments, and then the next tournament will roll around and people will be going through the pools and go, all right, this person's going to win the pool. They're going to come out in winners. This person's going to come out in losers. And so often it wasn't me. And then I'd come out in winners. That is an underdog type of thing. And you have never heard me say, oh, I was the underdog. People saw me as the underdog because people were not thinking about me. Phil, people didn't think about you.
Unless you were barking just flapping your gums.
like a massive upset, and everyone would get all upset and say it was luck or whatever. But I was never afraid to speak my mind. I was always talking shit. I was always, you know, basically saying whatever I wanted and really meaning it, just like I do on YouTube. When I say stuff on YouTube, I mean...
Didn't he say that he was trolling and
not
being for real?
Yes, he did.
When he did one of those retrospective things?
Yep. He said it's exaggerated, but it's all true, except for the false stuff, which is true in a certain extent.
He is God, dude, I can't understand.
Just like Howard said, Phil watches too much wrestling. Yeah, that's a...
Yeah, he wanted to be the heel of the FGC.
I'm not going to censor myself or hold myself back.
You censor yourself right now, don't you?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I say what I think is
Meme
the truth.
Spice says, I can't get over the note said that someone said, it is a long story, and right after Phil says the same thing.
And a lot of people don't like that, you know? A lot of people just don't like that. And, yeah, I'm going to admit there were times when I went out of control and, you know, got all crazy and fucking, you know, said really nasty things about people.
Okay, is that what they're talking about?
Yes.
And doesn't that sound justified if you're saying a bunch of nasty stuff to people and they go, well, that guy?
But that's just part of it. It's part of building hype.
That's part of it. That's building a hype. He couldn't just show up and play video games. He had to make this an event.
How hype was the Justin Wong, Daigo, Dom Dai, all of those people? How hype were their sets when they're not sitting around saying, you gaijin and all this bullshit? You can trash talk and be hype without assaulting people as people, verbally assaulting them.
Douche.
So there was a Dragon Ball Fighters US versus international or whatever. And one of the guys won. He was like, give me this mic. I told y'all we're the best around here. Shake my hands. Good game. No, I lied. It was bad game. And then right after he got done with all of that, he was like, no, shake my hand. I'm so happy y'all came out. Blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. It was just to get the crowd hype. And it's just like, but don't really believe that. We're all just having fun here. Phil never had we're all just having fun here. He's truly just like, no, it's bad games. You suck. Walk away, moonwalk.
As part of, when there was a local tournament in New Jersey, I would say, well, I hate this motherfucker, and I'm going to bet him $200 in a money match. And next thing you know, there would be massive hype for this tournament in New Jersey because everyone wanted to see me play this guy for a match.
No, there wouldn't be, Phil. You have no historical records to back that up, so you can just say whatever you want and just make it seem like you're a big deal over fighting some dude for $200.
Go ahead.
That's not even that big of an amount.
There was a guy in the FGC who I've told this part of it before. Thanks for re-upping your bum membership, Alfonso. You bum. There was a guy in a local FGC who Isaac. Okay, cool,
word.
You say something.
Oh hell no.
Y'all hate money.
DA, if you want, I can give it to Phil for you since you're such good friends. DA said something about the time machine being ready. But thanks for the super chat. And thanks for the words, the actual words.
Hurtful.
There was this guy who was just like, if I see him, I'm gonna punch him in the face. Essentially nothing but us, but me beating him in tournaments and stuff. And then he kept talking about me, so I talked back, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna punch him in the face. There was finally, I mean, it took almost a year for our money match. We finally did our money match. How many people know what the happened there? How many people can tell you who won that set? How many people in the local FGC can you talk to that were like, oh, that event, oh, that money match?
He just likes to think that he's bigger than he is. That's all this is.
Money. So that's kind of, the deal. And a lot of people like that, and a lot of people thought, oh, he's just an attention whore, whatever. But the bottom line is...
I did indeed win, Triton. I won something like 14-3.
That changed over time, and... mid-2000 to the late 2000s, I became more of
and there's a funny story after that. I got a free lap dance because of it. Because I won that.
A figurehead in the community, especially on the East Coast. I started running major tournaments. I ran the East Coast Championships one year, along with Josh Wakefall, who's my friend from New York also.
What does this have to do with people saying negative things about you?
He's explaining why they would say the negative things. He's telling his history a little bit, how he was a head, but how he was a... key member of the fighting game community.
But that doesn't dispel the bad things that you've done.
Dutch says, what did miss of Phil greatness?
What did you miss of Phil's greatness?
He doesn't want a kid, and he's totally human who procreates.
The procreation thing was the best part.
Player. And since then, I had a lot of local tournaments in New York.
Meme Spice, it was a FGC event that was called Tips and Tricks, where people would play fighting game tournaments, and there were also strippers there. And that was all. There was strippers there, and I got a free lap dance because I won. On one side of the barricade was essentially a strip club. On the other side of the barricade was the fighting game community. And there was a big old gap where you could just walk in and walk out as you saw fit.
Connecticut things that I was doing, I was respected. And basically, a lot of people started to trust in my word, especially when it came to Super Turbo. And I think really where the cookie crumbled, so to speak, is I had a major dispute with the people who run at Shoryuken.com because one of them actually had written netcode for his online service. You might have heard of it. It's called GGPO. And a lot of people use that online. They say, wow, it's pretty good. It's not very laggy. The truth is, GGPO is a very good netcode, but it masks lag. And that's why when you
Mark Month says, did you ask the strippers to procreate with you?
Would you like to engage in procreation?
Yes, let's have the sex.
GGPO feels different than playing, say, Street Fighter 4 online. Street Fighter 4 might slow down or drop inputs. Well, GGPO also drops inputs, but it masks it very well. And so I kind of called them out on that on the forum, and I said, you know, everyone here's kissing their ass. It's really good, don't get me wrong. It's the best netcode, but it's not as good as everyone thinks it's cracked up to be.
And then everybody hated him forever.
So it's the best netcode you've ever played, but it's not perfect. No online netcode is going to be perfect because you're playing with online people. It depends on their connection, their ping. There's a lot of factors that go into a good netcode. So even a great netcode, even rollback netcode implemented poorly, like Street Fighter V at one point was, is going to still be bad. There's so much in it, Phil, but you're going, it's not as good as people say, based on what?
Yes.
It still drops inputs, it still has these problems. I wish we would focus on solving those problems rather than thinking we found the Holy Grail. And of course, when I did that, everything...
It is the Holy Grail, though. Rollback netcode is so much better than delay-based netcode. Because for people that don't know the difference, a delay-based netcode is, let's say you hit light punch. With delay-based netcode, if you hit light punch, it might take 17 frames further to get to it because there's a delay to make sure you hit that button. Rollback netcode essentially quasi-predicts what you're going to do. So you'll hit the button, it kind of predicts what the button was, and if it wasn't correct, it'll roll back slightly. That's why you'll get those big old sweeping, it looks like somebody jumped but they're still on the ground because it predicted the jump, or it did see the jump input, but it rolled it back because that's not what it actually saw. But rollback netcode helps a lot with tight links and those types of things, combos, because you hit the button and it comes out because you hit the button for the most part, as opposed to hitting the button and not getting the timing of your combo correct because there's a delay that you cannot account for. Rollback netcode is just superior, Phil. God, I hate every time he talks about rollback netcode because he doesn't understand it.
Bloated. Apparently there were already talks to try to sell that netcode to Capcom for their games, and so they were like, oh, now DSP opened his big mouth, he blew it. I ended up getting banned from SRK for several years.
And he think that's the reason. He's just like, I was banned simply for whistleblowing, saying that this isn't all that good. Not for all my trash talking. Not for creating a competitive website that was like totalhaters.com or whatever. Not for being a piece of... No, but I got banned for this. And now they've always hated me for that.
I had a bad relationship between myself and the people who run Shoryuken.com. And it's not just for that. There's been,
it's not just for that. Then why bring this up?
Why'd you bring it up?
Year-long disputes. Ever since the first time I met the people in person, we had a dispute about money, about Justin Wong, if you can believe it. When I went to my first West Coast tournament in California, it was the first year that Justin Wong had gone out there and started actually winning every Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournament. He won the tournament, and then when they gave him his money, they basically shortchanged him. And I called it out. I said, wait, let's do the math here.
Hey, Justin Wong isn't being paid fairly.
We did the math in our head and said, this isn't right. He got gypped several $100s from when he was supposed to win this tournament. We called him out, and basically we were told by the Shoryuken.com staff that we're idiots. We don't know what we're talking about. We don't know how to count. They said on the website all this information about how the arcade that this event was held at was going to take money.
I don't believe
like
you,
that.
Phil.
And but the bottom line, the website never said it. They actually went back to the website and had to publicly apologize later on because they realized they fucked up. But ever since then, it's kind of been like we have bad blood between us.
So, all he said was just... I was like, I'm defending somebody that wasn't being treated fairly, and they hated me for it.
Were him and Justin friends? Because that would take Justin showing or telling him the money he got, or Phil seeing Justin get the money he got and count it out.
And then be like, wait a second.
And then walking up to Justin and going, that's not correct, that amount of money you have. Crazy talk.
And at this point in my life, I don't give a fuck about it anymore. As you say, I haven't gone to Evo in a long time.
And why did you pick the question?
And why did you talk about it for 4 minutes?
All this talking here, I don't care.
I haven't really traveled to go to tournaments in quite a long time, except for the Super Battle Opera qualifier this year. And to me, it's just water under the bridge. I really don't give a shit. I was gonna actually go to Evo this year, but I decided not to because of the whole thing going on with Super Battle Opera. And a lot of people have asked me, well, what's going on with Shoryuken? Are you ever gonna come back? I'm never coming back to Shoryuken.
Who asked you that?
I'm done with that community because there's too many people there who just believe whatever they're told. And so, for your question,
why does Phil keep doing this? He'll read the question, go through this long explanation that has tangentially applies to the question, and then go, well, so for your question,
and then answer it in 2 sentences.
Rich, you're asking why. A lot of people just hate on me because they think it's
Review
the cool
tech?
thing to do on Shoryuken.com because there's a lot of people there who are close to the people who run the website, and they're like, oh, it's the cool thing to do is hate on DSP because the people who own
Phil,
the site.
you don't go there, so how do you know this?
and this is another thing of, it's cool to hate Phil. That's why people do it. Not that I actually have problems. Not that there's bullshit I do. Not that there's a reason to actually do it. It's the cool thing to do, and they want to be part of the popular kids.
It's just a legacy of hating me. They've always hated me,
Legacy
so they're
of
going to
hate.
continue to hate me.
Phil has a legacy of hate.
I don't like him that much. Well, it's become like a kind of like a hobby now for these idiots, and unfortunately, yeah, that's the truth.
Don't even know what they
And,
said.
So yeah, it's a pain in the ass, and I have to deal with it. But I don't
What are
care.
you dealing with? You don't go to the website.
I guess people coming to his comment section and saying these things.
I was about to say he has to approve them, but then
Back in the day, he didn't.
And I figured maybe I'll go to Evo one more time. It might be next year, 2011, and we'll see how it goes. But that's that. That's the story. Dude, I got 2 fucking flies flying around my condo right
Pause.
now. One just went one way and one
3 in a row where he's distracted by something.
went the other way. How a pain in the ass. They must be sneaking in on the door or something. But anyway,
It's a
that's
fly.
the story with that. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. It could be a lot more complicated, but I'm not going to get too far into it because obviously I don't want to bore you. But that's the gist of it. And I might go to Evo one more time, but basically I'm kind of done from being a major part of that community simply because there's too many idiots and assholes who jump on this hate on DSP bandwagon without really knowing me, without really knowing what I'm about. And that's why a lot of people, when they came to YouTube and they...
If I were a person that didn't know anything about Phil, oh, what's up, fighting? If I was somebody that didn't know anything about Phil, and I watched his content for 3 hours, I feel like I would get a very good metric of who Phil is.
Because you'll get the troll stuff. You'll get him thanking people for money. You'll get him asking for money. You'll get him wiggling his glasses and his hat going, oh, you guys.
And potentially something toxic going on.
Yes.
To the point where I would go, oh yeah, okay. People may be right about Phil.
This ain't an isolated incident. This is just this dude.
saw me and isn't this the guy who everyone hates? And then when they started watching me, they're like, wow, he's actually not that bad of a guy. It's because everyone basically lies and spreads rumors.
Everyone!
How many people have went, Phil is not that bad of a guy? And Phil, why is that a positive for you instead of going, Phil's a good guy? He's not as bad as y'all say.
What lies and rumors are they spreading,
Master
Phil?
Jinx says, I criticize Demon Slayer constantly and explain why I think it is an awful series with almost no redeeming qualities, but I don't care. That's why I spend so much time talking about it.
Exactly.
But I don't care. Here's all my problems with Demon Slayer. I don't care.
And make shit up, so what are you going to do? Okay.
Simple.
Let's make this the last question, and then we may go to Phil's channel to maybe we'll watch one of his one of his reactions just so y'all can see how terrible it is, and then we'll go through the Discord with the memes and stuff too.
Best way to understand Phil is the down the rabbit hole.
It's a little out of date at this point.
Yeah, it's a little out of date, and it doesn't cover as much of the toxic stuff, and that's a lot of what Phil is.
I'd say if you really want to know why people don't like Phil, watch one of the Secret Life videos. Pick any one of them. The 100,000 scam one, the mobile game one.
Any of the best of the year.
Any of them. Just pick something from him, and you'll see quickly that Phil's a piece of shit.
The question is incredibly long. All right? So this one's going to take a while to read, and likely will take a while to answer. It is from the Snorlax King, and I would like to read it now. Prepare yourselves. It's very lengthy. Okay. Snorlax King asked the following. By the way, it's a bunch of questions. I don't know if I'll answer them all, but I'll do my best to summarize. The Snorlax King says the following. Excuse me.
What are you looking at?
Hello, Phil. First asking a question here on Ask the King. Kind of going to write a long one. I felt it was important to get this across. I have a point that I want to make to you and everyone who may listen or read this. I want to first express to you, over the last couple of months, I've really found myself enjoying your content more and more. And I think that you've done a good job not only entertaining us viewers, but mixing your things up.
Is the Snorlax King still around?
No, he got big banned.
He got banned for what?
Oh, yeah. For the thing that is. For the thing that happens to all of them.
I appreciate how you've not been afraid to react to more controversial videos on subjects about yourself, such as Down the Rabbit Hole, and other reactions, and how you've also chosen to confront...
Like, what else? It was just that one! He's afraid. He said he was not gonna do it.
These things head on and openly talk about some of these issues. I especially thought your reactions and honesty regarding the whole John Rambo situation is especially eye-opening. Not.
It was very eye-opening.
Yeah, no. That was probably the worst thing Phil has ever done. Not in terms of entertainment-wise, because I think his original reaction to Down the Rabbit Hole is the most worthless stream he's ever done. That was by far the worst video he has ever created.
Because he watched it several times. He had a narrative that he wanted to push. If Howard wasn't my friend, so what is he doing here? And he just pig-noses John into this.
Oh, he came back yesterday, Snorlax King.
Oh my goodness.
They always come crawling back, licking the boots of the king. Question, does DSP know about you?
Nah.
I very much doubt it. He might, his audience might point to a video we've done. Maybe.
Not to say.
Take off the cooldown for what? Snow Carl? No, Snow Carl is always coming back. Snow Carl is the craziest.
Yeah.
I'll never understand Snow Carl.
That you were some awful person beforehand, make no mistake, but I do believe that you have changed for the better as a person, and I'm glad to see that you have grown wiser over the years.
This is all coming from a guy that got banned months later.
I would just like to say...
Meme Spice says, I demand a feasting with the king.
We can do one of the feasting with the kings. We'll figure it out.
That was nice to say. We didn't get to a question yet, but everything he just said, I agree with. I've done that. I tried to do the work to become a better person, a better content creator, to fess up to my failures of the past, to try to commit to you guys that I would not redo those failures in the future. And I felt like a lot of the reaction stuff I did this year did that.
Live the life of the cuck.
There's a smudge right dead center of this, and it's bothering me.
You don't need them. You don't need them, Phil. Well, you need actual glasses, but you don't need those glasses.
No, but they've earned that reward.
Phil kicks and bans people on a whim, essentially.
Okay, continuing on. As I expressed to you in an email a few weeks ago, I fell down into a DSP...
The Cotton Candy Empress of Hope says, know when that thing eats it make me swear off food for 57 hours.
It's the weirdest.
It's disgusting.
It's really disgusting.
Because I was watching the This Is How You Don't Play series. Sure, watching you fail at games like Metal Gear Solid 3 or Dark Souls may be funny, but it never should have gotten to the levels that it even was just a few years ago, going up until today. It's only now I've come to realize how the internet can lead impressionable young men and women down dark territories, all for the
Dark territories of watching Phil fail at video games?
Sometimes people words things in a way that tickles Phil's fancy, in a way that he wants to hear exactly, and he's more likely to read because of that.
idea of an easy laugh or cheap entertainment. A lot of people got caught up in the hate towards you, and it became so vile and personal. We often forget that people on the screen are human beings with feelings. I can never make up for falling down into that pipeline myself, but I now hope that I'm older and wiser, and someone about to begin their own work career as I in college, and I can educate people on the dangers of imminent internet pipelines, and people avoid falling.
This is a crazy
It has to be
blowjob.
like half troll thing where it's just like, what do you think about people hating on you, Phil?
Down those traps. Again, no question there. But I completely agree with you. And let me tell you, when I saw This Is How You Don't Play begin over a decade ago, I thought my concern was that they were going to take away my revenue because I didn't foresee how the future was going to go. I didn't.
That's my money, y'all.
The number one concern is always the dollar bill.
That over there, that's my... You guys are taking my money.
Why does Phil have unironic dick riders? Like, what is there even a dick ride? Is terrible all around. It feels very much like they implant themselves on Phil because Phil is always like, don't let the trolls get you down. Don't let the haters
keep
defeat
fighting.
you.
Keep
We're
going.
gonna persevere through this, and people can go, yeah, we are gonna persevere. Here's $20.
See that I would be a full-time streamer with crowdfunding. I didn't see that YouTube ad revenue would disappear. I thought, man, they're ruining my living. If someone else steals my content and makes fun of me, people are going to watch the making fun of content, not the original. That's how I make my living, is the ad revenue. So I didn't foresee...
Did he see his numbers going down? That would be one thing.
Yeah.
Number two, you could just like ignore that. Yeah. Why would you want to watch this imitation of me when you could just get me right here?
Why not hire those people? Because this was during the time he was making doctor money. So why not hire those people to just go, hey, make sure you don't break the TOS, but I'd like to hire you to do these type of compilations. You'll get paid for it. I'll get paid for it.
Question as to why they would want to watch something like that instead of your content. And improve for the better.
Why would y'all want to watch a bunch of me failing? Oh, that must just be what people want to see. They love fail compilations. Okay, I'll make some failing stuff of me looking like a piece of...
See how this future would go. Quite frankly, if I did, I might have reacted differently. If I realized it wasn't going to be that big of a deal, maybe I wouldn't have freaked out about it the way I did and basically became a meme over it. You know, raging and being so angry at those videos coming out the way that they did. Okay? But, absolutely, I don't think anyone could argue against the fact that This Is How You Don't Play kind of innocent fun, making fun of me sucking at games, became...
Innocent fun? Wasn't it years later when he got swatted and then it was still This Is How You Don't Play was the reason?
Yep. Him going, these people should be in white coats.
An insane amount of this cult, this brainwashed group of people who just hate my...
the jackpot chances are 1 in 100. You gotta hit 100.
Guts for no good reason. Who make
Hi
conspiracy
Zaldonix says, DSP, don't let trolls get to you. Now excuse me for 5 minutes while I'm crying in my pillow because of the troll.
He's literally talking about the trolls after going, I don't care about the trolls. Now he's just going, they're cults and they brainwashing all this other... There has not been a question. There's no question on the table, Senator.
Well, yeah, he hasn't gotten to whatever this dude's gonna ask about. That's crazy talk.
Cult. This brainwashed group of people who just hate my guts for no good reason, who make conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory up in order to propagate this endless circle of toxic hate that just isn't justified. So I appreciate you recognizing that. Continuing on.
See, it's worded in
Not that I want you to get put on a soapbox or anything, but I genuinely would like to know your thoughts on internet pipelines and how people can turn twisted. And can people truly change? have you noticed more people coming around and supporting you lately who used to be haters? Do you worry about people who watch you who are secret trolls? So let me answer all that first because there's more to go. What I can say
wrote a
is
novel.
I definitely feel like this year there's been kind of a breakthrough where a lot of people realize that this is just stupid at this point. You know, how long are you going to keep hating on me and circling this endless propaganda against me?
What a lot of people? What do you mean, Phil? How do you measure the number of people not trolling you?
I would assume it would be the number of people not watching This Is How You Don't Play as much. So where they used to get tens and hundreds of thousands of views, now they might get thousands to 10,000
Sure,
of views.
but there's also the fact that some of them are just not that good. Phil is just tiring.
It's also the fact that Phil himself is not good. And I feel like he did it on purpose because he already said he took away the comment section because of This Is How You Don't Play. So he has actively tried to make them worse by being a less entertaining person because now a lot of his talking during the game is just, oh, so we got a head here?
What do you get something every now and again?
What are you supposed to do with that in a 20-hour playthrough? How much can you extrapolate from the footage and make it entertaining when he himself is not entertaining?
20 minutes ago, there was a post on the DSP Kiwi Farms. It's not died down, Phil.
What's the point? If you haven't noticed, hi, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere, right? They've tried everything for no good reason. No good justifiable reason.
Isn't this the exact same thing he just said? Didn't it just... This man has a script.
But do you see how he just goes, there's no good reason? He feels that there's no reasons why people would troll him or hate on him or anything. So that means that he feels that everything that he's done has been right and justifiable and good. It's insane to think like that.
They tried it and nothing happened. All that happens is the same idiots keep circle jerking each other, keep telling each other their same lies and think that it's funny. It's not. Outsiders now are going to look at the situations and be like, what the fuck is this? Well, people are behaving like this on the internet? Wow, I never knew that.
You could just look at the bankruptcy and outside people will just go, in $100 at Total Wine?
$5,000 on gaming expenses? I don't think even the top streamers, unless they have a team behind them, will spend $5,000 on their monthly expenses.
A month.
We're talking $60,000 a year on gaming expenses. How is that possible?
It's possible when he's printing out and holding it up and follow that off as a business expense. 3 pieces of paper a month. Now he got the whole pack. And it's a business expense.
We knew this kind of thing existed. These people are nuts, And if anything, a lot of people have finally kind of come around and said, all right, I hated on Phil, right? But I decided to give him a shot and actually like his stuff. And I like to come and watch his stuff.
Pause.
Some people...
And those are those cuck emails that he gets. That are just half-trolled. Just like, emails. I hated you, Phil, but now I see that you're great. And he constantly talks about people getting emails and stuff like that. He has no metric to be like, these are lies, and people are no longer believing the lies, and number go down for them. He just saying it.
Even support me now who used to hate me. And I appreciate all of that. I really do. Okay? I just wish that the endless levels of harassment was up. Like those false copyright strikes last month, that's unacceptable. And now I've lost revenue.
What is acceptable trolling, Tim?
Just coming in chat, but nope, he gets banned. But didn't he just say, hi, I'm still here, you guys have tried everything. Now he's just going, this is unacceptable. I lost money. So it's working. If they're costing you coin.
Do that. I need to pay my bills and make a living. And now I have to sit here on stream with you guys and talk to you about it and say, hey, can you guys give me some extra support now? Because I'm in bad straits, because of these assholes. This is bullshit. I shouldn't have to do that, right? So that's what I mean. That's where it crosses the line. But I think more and more people are realizing how stupid this shit is. And are like, I've had enough. Either they're moving on from it or they're kind of turning the corner and saying, you know what? I'm gonna chill with Phil.
No, I would agree more people are moving on because you're not fun to engage with as much as you were, say, 10 years ago. Because, again, you're a boring person. Legitimately a boring person. I cannot watch Phil uncut at this point. Back in the day, I could watch 1,000 uncut Phil videos. Now, if it's not the Daily Rap, if it's not the Pre-Stream Podcast, the Level 1 Podcast, if it's not one of those two things, I cut him off immediately.
Yesterday, I went to his React channel because
did
it was
too.
live.
Snort.
And
All right,
snort.
I'm not dead, but I swear to God, I wish I fucking was.
But I was just watching, and it was like a minute, and it was just him describing what just happened. And I wanted to clip it and send it to you, but you can't clip a live stream.
Yeah.
Which I was pissed about. But I was just like, this is nothing. And it's going to
You
continue
look at the
to be
fucking mirror, you
nothing.
stupid muppet. I'm gonna have a good time, and I'm actually enjoying this stuff. Okay, I have seen a lot of that recently in the last year or two.
A lot based on what? What is a lot to you? 3,
What is a lot?
5, 10? What's a lot?
Can people truly change? I like to believe they can. I don't want to give up hope on humanity that just because someone was an asshole once means they're going to be an asshole forever. I used to be an asshole. I used to troll the SRK, which is SureYouCan.com community.
Oh, so there was a reason.
So he was trolling it. And that's perhaps why he got banned. Not going Justin Wong ain't making enough money. Oh, maybe
Not that GGPO is maybe not as good as everyone's saying.
maybe it was the trolling. So maybe Phil from 10 years ago was lying from omission.
Why does Phil think he has the clout to go, hey, this isn't as good as people think? And it would hurt a deal with Capcom over the netcode.
And the Street Fighter community as a whole. I changed. If I can change for the better, I think everyone can. Okay. Do I worry about people watching me being secret trolls? No. I'm not worried about that shit. I know for a fact that there's people on the stream who are literally here just to sneak diss or be a part of a meme or whatever. You know? But those people aren't going to be super harmful. It's the people who are willing to go that extra mile to literally break the law to try to get me in trouble, which I didn't do. That's when we're getting into some serious shit, okay? Okay. Let's continue on with the question. You've already been dealing with false copyright strikes, which impacts you as a content creator. It's crazy to think at the drop of a hat, your livelihood could be threatened. As someone who suffered a panic attack a few years ago, and I've dealt with newfound issues of anxiety for the last few years, I can't imagine the toll all this takes on you and your mental health. I have immense sympathy for the situation that you've had as of late. What impact has the last decade plus of content creation had on you? What advice can you give to people such as myself in regards to being up-and-coming content creators and those dealing with anxiety every day? Here.
This is not going to be a good answer.
I'm afraid for what he's going to say about anxiety and how he's been dealing with this over the past 10 years. And advice for up-and-coming... He's not a success himself. If he had advice, he'd be taking it and he'd be earning more money.
Here's the thing. If I wasn't going through this kind of shit previously in my life, I probably wouldn't have been ready for it. But been there, done that. I was hated on in the Street Fighter community and kind of became immune to it. And like I said...
Is that why you talk about it practically every day?
Is that why with any time some sort of Street Fighter related or fighting game related incident happened, you gotta poke your head in like, Evo, 4th place, y'all. I was king of hate, all this others that you constantly say.
This is... He's just
Phil wrote this.
You guys know me. I'm the kind of person that uses all the vitriol tossed my way and the things said about me to motivate myself to do better and still to be successful, right? The only way to really show these scumbags on the internet that they're in the wrong is to prove to them that I'm not going anywhere and that I'm going to be here forever no matter what.
What does he think the quote-unquote scumbags on the internet are trying to do?
Yeah, what does he think the end goal is?
Because he was practically crying, going, don't take my channel down, because then you won't get your content and your laws.
Somebody got your bank information and did nothing with it, but said, hey, here's what Phil's been spending money on.
What they did, right? Until I'm ready. When I'm ready, the day I'm ready to say I throw in the towel, that's one thing. But I'm not going to be going away because of these assholes. You know what I'm saying? So all that being said, yeah, it takes a toll, man.
I thought he did that.
It takes a toll. I'm getting, copyright strikes are hitting. I'm like, oh my God, now what's going to happen? I lost $1,000. Do you understand that?
Is this the third time that he's mentioned that in this question?
I believe so.
This man is hurting for this $1,000. He is missing this so hard.
$1,000. $1,000.
The Cotton Candy Empress of Hope says, can't wait for
Did
the
you look
live
at the
stream of his
fucking
funeral.
mirror, you
All
stupid
money from
muppet?
that stream goes to the cost of said funeral.
Once you guys tip, we can put Phil in his hat. We don't want to lower the casket until we get a vest on.
He'd love, guys, to be buried with all his memorabilia, all the good times you guys had with the hat and the vest. We're almost there, guys. Well, I know we can get that last little push. We've got 3,000 people watching. I know we can get that push to get that vest on them.
It's $50. It's not a big deal. Now, I'm not kidding you. The money that I normally would have had to pay my bills in the early month, the next month, I do not have.
Okay, but here's the crazy thing. He says he lost $1,000, and life continued on as usual.
Yep.
So when he gets that, typically at this point, excess of $1,000, because he's already shown he can live with $1,000 less, where does it go?
Where? And then you got to think about it. His daily goal is $300. So this is essentially 3.5 days worth of money gone for him.
Now I need to come up with that somehow from my streams. Now I have to talk to you guys and appeal to you to help me out. And I'm tired of it.
I just want money.
Congrats, Master Jinx, for winning a jackpot of 30,000 moon points. Corey, get cucked again.
I'm fucking tired of it. It's mentally exhausting. It's emotionally exhausting. How do you think it feels for us around here with my wife?
And see, you can't just go 2 minutes ago, hi, I'm still here, you're not going to get rid of me. And then just go, it's emotionally draining and exhausting.
It's so tiring. It's wearing me down. My wife is hurt by it. I'm hurt by it.
But y'all can't do anything to me. So stop.
This is literally the most hilarious attempt at gaslighting for money. And I thought Wings was better. No, Phil is next level gaslighting.
Is working as much as she can, right? And I told you guys the problem she's having.
She's not working as much as she can because then she would work another job. The
Master
bankruptcy.
Jinx says, I just gambled 10 and 30,000, won, that was epic.
The luck of the draw sometimes. But you would go to another grocery store. You would get 2 part-time jobs. Mm-hmm. She works like 3 days a week and nothing else. She would find other jobs. She would be working towards a certification or something. She would be doing something.
Instead of playing Skyrim. Instead of constantly playing Harry Potter. Take an hour a day off of your gaming time. And do something else. Learn a trade or something.
Yes, to get that better job. You're in a hotbed of Seattle. That's Tech Town. And you working in Kroger or whatever 3 days a week. She's not working as hard as she can. And if she was, she'd be getting more hours. I think she just sucks at her job.
Username says, I have lost 50,000 between these 2 streams. That jackpot ain't right. This whole thing ain't right, scammer.
You're the one that keeps gambling. That means nothing to me. What do you want me to do about it?
A fan of fighting says, if DSP wants more money, then he should join the Thought March with LTG since he's backpedaled to using subscription accounts.
Oh, yeah, I saw LTG with the subscription. Boy. But Phil is constantly backpedaled. I'm not going to do React, and now he's got an entire channel dedicated to it. Like, Phil if it means that he's gonna make money, Phil wants to make the most money with the least amount of work. Reactions are, and you can't even make This Is How You Don't Plays out of reactions because it's just him reacting to a thing. There's less content to be gained from that.
There's less negativity that can be spawned
He
in making
loves
a whole chip.
it.
A clip, not a chip.
Still job. She's tried to get better jobs. It doesn't work out. All right.
I wonder why.
Why doesn't it work out?
It can't be the
Phil?
job that's not working out. It's probably her,
Creative
Phil.
username says, I want you to change the odds. I am poor now. I have nothing.
I am poor.
What do you? Why would I change the odds? Because you can't keep yourself together.
No one will hire you when you don't have experience. How do you get experience if you can't get hired to begin with? Doesn't make any fucking sense.
I got my first IT job with zero IT experience.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It depends on the job market you're in,
and what you're doing, and what you're looking for, and what you have done.
I've seen a lot of people in things like Reddit going, I learned programming in 6 months and I got my first job, and it's just a lot of work. I was doing it 4 or 5 hours
Win or
a day.
lose, the house always wins.
The house always wins. I was doing it 4 or 5 hours. I was learning 4 or 5 hours a day. I was programming and writing code an hour or two a day. I was going through tutorials, learning new languages. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually I was able to get into the market. There are people that go to coding workshops just to network with people. Just like, hey, I'm a new programmer. Here's my card and portfolio and blah blah blah. And then maybe a recruiter will look at it and try to contact you. There are ways to get into an industry of a better job if you are willing to put the work in to get into that job.
Python or C++?
Python, I learned a little bit of Python. Right now, I am in the middle of React, trying to learn React.js. But I've learned a little bit. I've learned that JavaScript and Python share a lot of the same types of things. Because I had started learning Python before I started learning JavaScript. And I was like, you know what? Let me finish up my web programming stuff. So I started doing the JavaScript stuff. And I was like, this is just Python, essentially. I don't want to learn C++. I would learn it if a job required it, but I don't like the way C++ works. But it's essential if you want to get into game development.
But what marketable skills does Kat have? I can't imagine she has any.
She has essentially worked retail jobs her entire life. She doesn't seem like a people person.
Especially considering when Phil was just like, you want to say hi to the people, honey? No, you don't? And she just was just silent.
Just imagine getting your hair cut with that 1,000-yard stare.
Them raccoon eyes.
Did you see that new song? Dude, Raccoon Eyes, the animation. It might be the great. We might end up playing that after this.
It's so good.
Because it is one of the greatest detractor things.
Right? So she's stuck working retail jobs. They won't give her hours. She works hard. They tell her she's a good employee. Cut the hours. Oh, the store didn't do so good, so cut the hours.
The store didn't do so good. Cut the hours. I've never heard that
I've never heard of a Kroger going, we're not doing so well, so we're cutting hours.
So well. No, absolutely not, Phil. You just blowing smoke.
Or she is.
Or
they are to her. Instead of just going, Catherine, you suck every ball.
You are not good, okay?
Oh, that's great, right? So she's busting her ass. She's stressed out. I'm busting my ass. I'm stressed out.
She works 3 to 4. Now, I can understand stressed out.
Yes.
Busting her. I don't. 3 days a week, probably 5 hours a day. I don't see it, Phil. How about sending her to go grocery shopping instead of both of y'all? That way y'all get a little bit more time on your day off. How about she go pick up those Jasper and why? What is she doing on her days off?
Playing
No.
games.
I mean, even if she was working 5 days a week for 40 hours a week, what is she doing on her days off where she can't go get the groceries, can't go get cat supplies and all this stuff, so that when Phil gets his day off,
his 1 day off,
they get to just spend as much time as possible just being together.
Why can't she go? You know why? Probably because Phil don't trust her with his money.
That's fair. I've been editing videos for 3 years. The editing tools I be using is either Hit Films or DaVinci Resolve Editor for Hire here. There you go. You just gotta keep pushing and networking and trying to find jobs with stuff.
Gain your skills, gain experience, network a little bit.
Even just building a portfolio website, just showcasing what you can do can get you a lot of offers.
Yeah, it feels like shit. But you know
what? Her resume's probably trash.
Yeah.
She probably not talking about any soft skills, any hard skills.
Because she sucks.
It's probably just, I work these places. She probably updates her resume with her most recent job, and that's it.
And just keep it rocking.
She doesn't reorganize things. She doesn't make it cleaner. Nothing.
Oh, it gets to a point where it's kind of like, it's just something that's always happened. It's something that, like, I just...
Your arm right there?
I live with. You know? I don't know if I'll ever have stability.
You just talked about it's the most stable job. He just talked about this is the most stable job. He literally just talked about.
Just said it, but now when it's convenient for him, this is so unstable, you guys. I just lost $1,000. Yes, he did just say this is the most. Yes, he did just say that.
Oh,
what of it? What of it?
As a graduate, the most important thing for me right now is to get a job so I can get this money to go to school for welding. For that, I need a good resume, but I didn't know what to put. You're gonna want to embellish a lot on your resume, not outright lie for the most part, unless it's something that you can confidently showcase, even if you don't really have the experience for it or whatever. You just want to. You're selling yourself with a resume.
If you worked at a cashier, you can just put, I've handled money, I've made transactions, fast at addition and subtraction, stuff like that.
Communication skills.
Yeah, that is what you would put as a cashier that you've done that's transferable to other things. That shows that you have a good work ethic, you make good skills and all that stuff. Yeah, that you just gotta sort of finagle it with depending on what job you're going for.
And that's a good thing too, Mark, because a lot of times they'll only look at the first two, because there was a top recruiter who talked about it. They look at the top 2 parts of your resume, and then they just go down to soft skills, and then it's just like, all right, I got what I need out of this. A lot of the times, you're going to want to make a resume that is
front-loaded
and particular to whatever you're trying to get into. So let's say for programming, Python and web development. If you're looking for a front-end job, you're going to want to put your front-end and web development more than your Python. If you know C++ and web development, you're going to go, I've done this with web development, I've done this, and I've done some C++ stuff. Whereas if it's the opposite, you go, I've done this with C++ and this and this and this, and I've done some web development.
When I went from Burger King to my IT job, it's a call center. I didn't go, I stocked the freezers and I made sandwiches really fast, because that doesn't speak to what I can do for the company. I just went, handled business with employees, worked efficiently with a team, stuff like that.
Corey's broke. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you did the burger stuff, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For what they're looking for.
If you're going to another fast food or burger place, that's when you want to. I've quick sandwich making. My times were this and that.
But what did I do? I worked with a team. I did customer service. That's basically what a call center is. So put that on the resume. There's ways to finagle these things, but cats suck.
There's no worked as cashier here. Took money and put it in register. Next part of job.
I have to say, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Well, there is. Hopefully in a few years. All right? I'll get to a point.
Refinance that credit.
Oh, I've worked as a janitor before. I've worked as a janitor. I've worked as a construction worker, interior designer, fast food. I've done so many jobs.
Matter anymore, and here's what I mean by that. If I can get to a point where my credit comes back,
credit
in a positive way.
Refinance.
At a minimum 5 more years. If I get my credit back, now I have equity in my home.
Go back to what he says when I get my credit back and look at his mouth.
Which is still going to take at a minimum 5 more years. If I get my credit back, now.
Why did he clench his jaw?
What was that jaw movement?
Piece of Peace has been, furious at Phil. He does this little tongue thing.
Yep, Tevin talks about that too, where he goes.
It infuriates Peace
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Now, I have equity in my home, and I can hopefully use that to do things like get rid of all this looming debt that I have on me that I can't pay off, you know, and these issues that I'm having.
What debt can he pay
Tax
off?
stuff.
He makes so much money.
Yes. And it's his fault that he's in the tax situation because he just went, I just ain't going to pay it.
I don't have to pay it.
Financially won't be a big deal when I actually have flexibility financially. Right now I have 0. Literally what I make this month on YouTube is all I have. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no savings. There's no credit. There's nothing.
How do you have zero saving as a man that has, for the better part of a decade, made $100,000 a year?
How do you have nothing to show for it but a Pac-Man light?
Nothing. Okay? And it's going to take years and years. But if I can tough that out, that's the light at the end of the
Master
tunnel.
Jinx says, since I won the 30,000 jackpot and don't care about Phil, I will go ahead and dip out with my winnings. Peace out and have a good day. Also, DA greater than BG. Thanks for points, scammer.
That last part was unnecessary. Enjoy the rest of your day, though.
In 5 years.
I like how you thank me for the points and then also call me a scammer.
DA better than BG.
Maybe I'll be able to actually go on a honeymoon with my wife. Because let me tell you, nothing else.
Won't you be too old for a honeymoon?
Why is honeymoon ageless? But again, it's just once I get this refinance, but that's just a whole nother issue with the refinancing. You got to pay that back. But he's just like, no, then I could just start paying my taxes. Then I can have more money, and then I can just do the things that I want to do. That's just a whole nother debt, though, Phil.
I don't know who willingly gave Phil money.
Who would possibly do that?
Noticed there's no giant income increases or anything that I'm getting here. It's stable. It's good. I'm happy for what I got.
It's not stable. You just
said
maybe I'll have stability.
Creative username says, do you hate me? Show me the odds for me specifically.
I can't manufacture.
For me specifically.
I can't manufacture the odds for an individual person.
But that's really where it's going to have to come from, is toughing it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's my life. So, yeah, I wish that I had a better way to talk about it, but I don't. Is it debilitating to the point where, yeah, I feel like shit sometimes? Yes. Do I get scared sometimes about the future? Yes. Are there times when it's so much that I feel that, mentally I feel like I might crack? Yeah, that happens. But at the same,
and yet
then the trolls are getting to you.
They're getting to him.
What is he talking about?
But all he can do is just do the same things that I have been doing. Oh yeah, I'm scared for the future. So let me continue down this path with no deviation.
Ad infinitum.
same time, I have an awesome viewer base every day who support me, who give me fun times, who have told me how valuable I am to their lives. And that the fact that I'm here and I'm diligent and I tough myself, I tough through my tough times, and that inspires other people to tough their way through their own tough times, right?
What are your tough times, Bill? Because a person's tough times may be cancer. Mm-hmm. Your tough time is, I didn't make $300 today.
And now I can't go to the pet supply shop.
And get the good
as
toys
I
for
do
Jasper.
Weekly.
What is he spending there? It has to be that he's buying these small, super expensive, because to feel more expensive means more better.
Yes, of course.
It has to be these small, super expensive cans of food or packages of food instead of going to Costco and getting the big old smorgasbord of cat food and just chilling for a month.
Hey, get this couple small ones, but then you cut it with the cheap stuff.
You gotta cut your pet food.
So that's why I'm not giving up on anything. I'm going to still be here. You know,
because it makes you so much money, and
Yes.
you can't go to anything else. Because you've been out of the job market for 15 years thinking that the money's never going to stop flowing. Now it's stopping flowing. You're just going, what do I do?
motivation to keep going when otherwise maybe there is none, you know? I am very sad that I don't have a better life for myself and my family. I want to do nice things.
How could you not have a better life making $100K a
You
year?
did this to yourself.
Dude.
You racked up all that debt going across the country.
And-
you bought that in 3D TV.
And you are playing mobile games and spending so much money. It was incredible when I was watching TJ, and it's just like, oh, Phil spent $1,100 today, and I was just shocked at a number like that.
Just doing it.
$1,100 on an event? For what purpose?
With my wife. I've told you for 3 years we want to go to the zoo. Guess where we haven't gone for 3 years?
Go to the zoo, Phil.
Hey, if she went and gotten all that stuff before your day off, you can spend that day off going to the zoo instead of grocery shopping, huh?
If you make, because there's some weird days where you'll make $400 or $500. Take the day stream off the next day. He's just crying. I can't go to the zoo. Yes, you can. There is no, I cannot drive in 30 minutes and go to the zoo.
If even 30 minutes.
There is not that. It's insane that he thinks that people believe this. He has at least one day off a week. Your day cannot be so stacked that you can't spend 3 hours at the zoo every single week.
How do you
For
not
all
have-
of your life, you don't have 3 hours to go to the zoo, Phil? It's unbelievable. And it's not unbelievable in the way of, oh man, it's unbelievable that Mark would say that. No, it's unbelievable that this
I
man
don't
would just
believe
lie.
it.
I don't believe that you don't have 3 hours to go to the zoo.
I'm not in shock that he can't. I don't believe he can't.
He went to the zoo when he went to back to Connecticut.
I like how he had all this time with Panda Lee to go to all these places, but suddenly he doesn't have the time for it.
Turt, stop. He won. Never mind. Because he was just gamble.
Because it's on cooldown, so he's just trying to get back to it.
He said the zoo was too expensive.
Too expensive!
I checked and it was
Cyberman Ward
$50 for two
Like, what would
people.
Phil even be doing in the day? He would have so much free time in being at home all day.
I do. Couldn't tell you. If you don't have... So, here's the thing. Instead of going out to those super fancy restaurants for 1 week...
Or DoorDashing.
Or DoorDashing, go cook at home or go to a Burger King or something. Someplace where you can spend $11 for 2 people and then go to the zoo.
It's insanity.
Instead of the $60 $70 that goes to that, spend it for the zoo.
And you always have to notice how vague he is when he talks about his day off. He'll be like, I've got appointments. We got to go get pet supplies. We got to go get
I am
this.
so tired of this pet
The
supplies.
pet supplies is nuts.
What
It's
could you
weekly.
possibly? We used to, with GB, we'd buy food once every 3 weeks or so.
It's weekly. But he has to be that vague because then you'd be like, well, Phil, if you're going to the grocery store, that's an hour. If you're going to the pet supply shop, that's 30 minutes. If you're going to a doctor's appointment, let's say that's 2 hours. Phil, that's not even at noon at that point. So he has to be as vague as possible to be like, I've got all this stuff to do at my day off.
Again, grocery shopping, pet supply store. If Cat just did a little bit of that, just a little bit of that, it would free up an hour and a half, 2 hours, and plus travel time, plus parking and all this stuff for them to go to the zoo. But they just can't. He just can't.
People want you to turn down to cool down on the gas.
No, because they kept gambling one moon point to try to hit the jackpot like some cocks.
gone to the fucking zoo. But that's life, you know. It is what it is.
That's not life.
That is not life.
I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna cry and be entitled and say I should.
Why does your voice sound like you're crying?
Have gotten more out of life. I've got a lot as it is. I've got more than
You've got
most
too
people.
much.
Who am I to stand here and be ungrateful for what I have, right? You got
Phil, you are ungrateful every single day. You just ranted that you only made $1. You are ungrateful for that $1. You are ungrateful for the people that come to your stream.
Moist had to come down and just be like, yo, what the is this? And then he just went, oh, big people are now coming at my neck. I gotta stop.
to be happy for what you have. You got to enjoy every moment, and you got to approach everything with positivity and look forward to something better in the future. That's how I approach it. Okay?
Pause. Do you remember what the original question was?
No.
It was about something about pipeline, internet pipeline.
Oh, is it going to hurt people's perception or whatever thanks to the internet pipeline?
Can people change and stuff like that? And somehow we got to my house, y'all, money.
Now, to finish up, because he's still not done. Has harassment on the internet gotten worse, or if things turn around for the better? It fluctuates. There's times when things are absolutely terrible, and there's times when things are not so bad. But it fluctuates. Last year, I thought things were good, and then I get kicked out of the partner program on Twitch because of trolls.
Sounds like instability. It's not because of trolls. It's because of the things you
Yes,
did.
You said
and
the N-word. They don't like that.
They don't like that over there.
You said all sorts of things, Phil. You can't say that you didn't. You can only say, yeah, but that was 10 years ago.
DA knows firsthand how ungrateful Phil is. See,
I
keep bringing it up.
really do. And that's the worst part.
DA took me $1.50, and he's talking about a time machine being ready. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but thanks for the tip. Okay.
There was no appreciation
There was
for that.
nothing.
I don't know what he's
He
talking
was
about. But
basically
thanks for the
reading the
tip.
terms of service, just like, okay, yeah, whatever, agreed. I'm obliged to do this, and I will.
Starting to see the appeal of gambling addictions. Dude, so I put this stream up last night. Corey was already trying to gamble.
Oh my
He was like,
goodness.
turn the bottle.
You know? It's like, damn. And again, the reason that they have for me, that they have issue with me, is the reason they created. If they would not fuck with my income,
No, it wasn't that they created it. It's that you're a piece of shit.
Yes, you're a garbage person. You just said people were in cults and brainwashed and stuff. So somebody's just going, no, I just saw this dumb video of you doing a scamming month going, my parents are literally on their deathbeds and I gotta go visit them right now. No, it's like I got married. Why does that look?
We all need rehab. I don't need rehab. I need points.
then guess what? I wouldn't have these issues where I need to ask my viewers for more support. Don't fuck with the income that's already there.
Phil, you essentially hit your goal every day. Let's say 4 out of 6 days, because you've already said you make the goal higher than it needs to be, because you don't expect to hit it every day. So 4 out of 6 days you hit your goal, your overall goal for the day. Is it going to be that much different for 6 out of 6 days? And even if you hit that 6 out of 6 days, are you just going to stop begging?
When does it end?
Because once they hit the tips goal, it's time to look at memberships. Once they hit the membership goal, hey, super chats are still available. I haven't seen a super thanks in a long time. It's still
And
available,
then the
guys.
next day it all resets.
And it's
Yesterday
all over.
didn't happen.
I don't have to ask for help. But they don't get that because they're stupid. They're
Hold
that
on.
stupid. When you
And say the trolling does go down to a 0. What changes? Are people more willing to give Phil money? Because his fans don't listen or believe any of the troll stuff. So what changes? Maybe some new people come in, but who's staying for this?
Only Ice Coffee has literally said a lot of the reason he gives Phil money is to trigger trolls. So he would... if there was zero trolling, he would have less incentive to drop those member bombs. So you would actually probably lose money.
With stupid people, you get stupid things like this happening, you know? Anyway, let's finish this up. I think these are quite personal questions to ask. I feel like your experiences can help and educate others. Thank you for taking the time to read through this essay of sorts. I appreciate you giving me your time as someone who used to be a hater and allow me to have a clean slate with you. I'm thankful for the entertainment that you brought over the years. Stay strong, and I hope you continue to do what you do for many more. You certainly have someone who will now be a frequent viewer and supporter, and I appreciate that. So relax, King. It's very nice things that you said there. The thing is, I talk about it all the time. I don't really like going into massive detail about the shit they do. Here's the other thing, too. The more you talk about them, the more empowered they feel.
Every day. Everything day.
There is not a day where he doesn't talk about trolls.
Remember when Reddit was on his balls about his lack of appreciation? He was like, those idiots at Reddit. And it was just like that for the stream, the pre-stream, the daily rap.
Literally me just addressing this in your question. Oh, Phil talked about me today. Now they have a warm fuzzy inside because they exist. Because the day that I don't bring them up, they don't exist.
Yeah, what? And that's Phil's mindset. All they do, there are 2,000 people who spend 24 hours a day thinking about me, thinking about ways to troll me, actually trolling me.
Wanting acknowledgement.
And that's all that they do in their lives. Not just go into your chat once a day and just go, aha, you're fat, ban me. They get banned and they keep it rocking. They go to Kiwi Farms and go, look at this dumb Pikachu Bender hat.
Do you think Snort Burnell cares if Phil ever says the name Snort Burnell? No, I don't think she does.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant if you acknowledge trolls. What's relevant is your toxicity. You're begging. That's what's relevant to people.
That's the truth of the matter. They're not real. They're fucking fake people fabrications on the internet. Why do they gotta sit on Kiwi Farms and other sites circle jerking each other? Because they don't
we're very real right now, Phil. We are here right now, Phil.
Fucking exist until the moment that they get some kind of recognition from someone.
Pause.
So
what does he mean by this? They don't exist. What does he mean?
So, with the bank leaks, does that not exist until Phil acknowledges it and says it exists?
The less we talk is the better. All right? That's my approach. Let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on the fun, the good stuff.
I'm not telling you, Turk, you're going to try to find a way to circumvent it.
Cyberman Worf says, this in from Phil, his haters are just part of the Matrix.
Yeah, they don't exist. Unless they exist. Once I talk about them, then they spring to life. He's nuts.
Talk about the scumbags that are
Mark
always
Month
gonna be-
says, they're all hallucinations. DarksydePhil.
What's my favorite manga? Long form is One Piece. Shorter form, it'd probably be one of the slice of life ones that I love, like It's Difficult to Love and Otaku. Maybe even Komi, something like that.
Dang, I didn't know BG was the only person on this stream.
Hey
Crazy.
there, all right?
There we go. What was it? Hold on. Jasper! Why would you put up Jasper Kitty?
Because I hate it.
Whew. Yeah, so that's that for the day. We can do a cooking with the king. We can. Oh, I wanted to show the
Raccoon eyes.
Yeah.
And I love things like this where there's so many just little tiny references and things like that.
And it is truly is just so many. If you know the circle, it's fantastic. If you don't, it's still good, but you're not gonna get it as hard. This is by, well, they're gonna show everything, but you can go to Pixar Animations, to Pigzar Animations. We'll link it in the chat too. Phil cooking video? That could be good. Meerkat is the person that made the song. Pixar is the one that did all these animations. And they was just talking about the zoo.
And I love all they all have the hole in the beard. You have to.
Pixar Animations made this. I'm gonna link them in the chat right now. Give me 1 second.
Probably could have just went to the history.
Probably could have did a lot of things. Meerkat is the one that made the song. I'll link him later. I'll put them both in the description though later.
This one goes out to the one and only, the big cat, the fat cat. Big ups. I first saw you in Burger King. You took 2 seats cause that ass is way too big. Had a boyfriend, I realized, but you told him lies with your raccoon eyes. The DoorDash is here. Wipe.
Can I just say, the DoorDash is here. When I first heard it, I had to stop everything. The DoorDash is here. Murdered me. Y'all don't understand how much I love the DoorDash is here. And you got the Hogan in the back, got like 4 bags.
Dash is here. Wipe away your tears. Got you extra fries, and they taste just right. Have no fear, there's no trolls here. Kevin made you cry with those raccoon eyes. Raccoon eyes. Raccoon eyes. Kevin made you cry with those raccoon eyes.
Pause. This is the part that killed me. How far that car is leaning to her side. When I noticed that, I died. Because I'm like, that ain't right.
Take you paddling on the beach, feasting on some sushi like you were the queen. Let me run some errands while you sleep. I can watch you play Skyrim all day this week. Have no fear.
It's so empty. It's so empty. And the stained underwear, dude.
No fear. There's no trolls here.
Pause. The ultimate gout diet and cookbook. Too good.
Kevin made you cry with those raccoon eyes. Raccoon eyes. Raccoon eyes. Kevin made you cry with
For those that don't know, Kat was vacuuming and somehow the vacuum cleaner just broke.
those raccoon eyes.
when I wake up, that's the best day of my life. I feel like this next day is awesome. I have a beautiful wife who I love so much. She loves me and a family, and Jasper, and you know, the things we get to do together. You know, I definitely want more time with them and more family
The almighty
time.
Jew Hansen says, Ayo, my dear friend Phil is still here.
Is Cat that big? This is clearly an exaggeration.
But she's gotten chunky.
She's gotten chunky.
And, you know, the things we get to do together. You know, I definitely want more time with them and more family time. But I absolutely
The Cotton
love
Candy Empress, Hope says, I'm so lost, should I have played Union Cross before watching this?
my life today compared to how it used to be. Seriously. All those years back then, you'd be like, it's a whirlwind of crap. It was me. And by the way, I've told you guys about my past. I used to drink.
Gone
forever. And you'd be like, it's a whirlwind of crap. It was me. And by the way, I've told you guys about my past. I used to drink way too much. I would be drinking constantly, all the time, because I was so stressed out. Honestly, when I started with this whole thing, I was depressed many years ago, you know, a decade ago. I didn't like my life or anything. And basically, liquor was the way to kind of get through that. You know, it was, I hate my life. I hate who I am. So let me just drink it all away and just keep pumping out fucking YouTube videos. I don't have to do that shit anymore, you know? Like, I'm happy with who I am. Band. Gone forever.
It's so good. It's so good, y'all.
It's so good.
Pixar animation, Raccoon Eyes, Meerkat for the song. I think you can go to either Meerkat or Snortwave Records.
All right, I'm not dead, but I swear to God, I wish I fucking was.
I don't know if he has it on Snortwave, but you can find a lot of the things that he does. Dude, I love. Yep, Raccoon
Chris
Eyes.
Mitchell
There it is,
says,
right there.
Was that LTG giving Cat the BBC?
It was Tyrone.
So yeah, you can go to Snortwave Records to get the actual song. And you can go to Pixar for the clip. For the
So
animation.
good.
It's so
All
fucking
for
good.
it. Cuck life, 100%. Live the life. of cuck.
MFDENJIO4 says, she about to procreate with Tyrone.
That she is.
Go through Phil stuff, find something good for us. I'll go through some memes and while you do that. Cause I've been looking through y'all and there's been some good memes. With those raccoon dude, it's such a good song.
No fear. There's no trolling here. Tell made you cry with those raccoon eyes.
And it's the perfect like earworm. It's just such a good Finn song. I love it. I'm gonna have to open that one in the browser. Nope, it's just small. Phil, the horse and the carrot. Procreate. All the Terminator feel. I love how good Kermit is.
Said, let me get some points, nigga.
Oh my god, I forgot about the TTS. It's not happening, Turt. Y'all always want points. Actually, let me mute my Discord, because y'all love getting them free TTSs. That is
Said,
so
please.
fucking good. No, it's not happening. I'm gonna use this feel for something, honestly. Give me tips, Dave!
We could do noodles.
We're doing noodles, y'all. Am I? No, it's the human. It's the humans. This was
Me up on the cross. Hey him!
because we were just talking about why are my pants now? Oh no, this is the rope. We were
Dutch
talking
says,
about.
Give us a bit of salad saying, please.
No, this is all field. Maybe next week we'll do some salad. The last revisited, we were talking about me being up on the cross because DA was just gonna put me there because he didn't want to be up on it, but somehow it was always gonna
Tondro
be.
being the perfect analogy for incels or something like that. I was like, I ain't gonna go there with you. I like how they're all facing me now.
Cats like us can procreate
Easily.
Oh, terrible freeze frame because it looks like he has cum face. That's gay sex.
Yep, we're good.
Yep, we're done there. All right. We will do noodles. This is legitimately one of our favorite videos of all time.
It's so good. It's perfect in every single way.
I like Noodle Arms is one of them. And then no Q&A, just out of here. Hey, check out my totally original and hilarious and totally not stolen meme about Zoro that is totally related to DSP.
DSP tries it.
Any new
C
memes we'll do
says,
at the end.
It's funny how
What's
DSP
going on,
guilt trips
everyone?
his audience with I need money for a meal out with my wife, but there's nothing for Valentine's Day.
Nothing! He canceled his appointment for Valentine's Day, his dinner!
Nuts.
I'm speeding it up a little bit so we can get the whole thing.
One DSP here, and welcome to a special edition of DSP Tries It. Now, first off, just to say this up front, I've been under the weather recently. My throat has been swollen. You can hear right now my voice is kind of strained, raspy because of this, okay? So what's the perfect thing you think of when you say, oh man, you have a bad voice or you're under the weather? What do you want? You want soup, right? So, today's
It's a
DSP
joke at this point.
Tries
It's always
It
been
is
a joke.
Perfect opportunity because we're going to be trying out 2 different products from Cup Noodles. Now, the reason that this is very pertinent,
Even just seeing the shrimp!
especially
Sadly.
for now, if you are a gamer, you may be playing Final Fantasy 15, and you may not know this if you're not playing it. Cup Noodles has a giant ad space purchased in the game. They're on billboards. I'm not even kidding you.
Pause.
Notera
So-
says, is this the video where he bitches and says the $2 noodles are a scam because they have no shrimp?
Yes!
Oh, you absolutely know that's what happened. There are no shrimp pieces. There are shrimp pieces on the box, but there are none in it.
But you gotta go after this or during this. Go look up H-Bomber guy watching this because him
H-Bomber
laughing
guy
is
is Sean.
the funniest thing because he brings up how there's like 8 spoons just laid out in the background, a hat in measuring cups. It's an insane person's countertop.
The characters actually have a freaking side mission where you have to buy cup noodles, then you have to go out and get ingredients through fighting monsters, put those ingredients into the cup noodles, and you eat it, and it's like, oh, the most delicious of gourmet ingredients. I mean, cup noodles are already good without this, but with these added ingredients, it's just so good. And it's hilarious because you can buy it, and it looks just like this. I'm not even kidding. In the game, I believe
You see how he's got that spoon just prepped and ready? He's got it on a napkin and everything.
Alfonso
know.
Rodriguez says, 1. Trick, pony.
Sadly.
costs like 1,000 gil or whatever, which I guess would be like the equivalent of $10 or something. And it looks just like this picture. Big, giant, juicy shrimp with delicious ramen and all these fresh vegetables, right?
Fresh vegetables?
How can it be fresh vegetables, Phil?
So, today, we're gonna try the 2 most popular flavors of cup noodles, both the shrimp and the chicken.
Did he weigh the popularity of shrimp and chicken? Where did he go to go? What are the 2 most popular?
Okay? Now, it's hilarious
Show
because
this
it
to
says
anybody, and I'm sure one of their first questions would just be, Why is there just a hat on the counter? Take the hat off the countertop.
Chicken flavor. Do you want to know why it says chicken flavor? Because there's actually no chicken in it. I think there's chicken stock, meaning that broth made with chicken, but no actual pieces of chicken are in this. However, in the shrimp, there actually are supposedly supposed to be shrimp in the shrimp cup noodles, okay?
Supposedly.
So, you might say to yourself, wow, well, in Final Fantasy 15, right? This is considered gourmet. Gladio, one of the main characters of the game, is kissing cup noodles' ass, one of his favorite foods. He's like, oh, this is something I would eat all the time. I can't believe how delicious it is.
He really does just have 8 spoons laid out. What
Mean
is this?
Spice says, I want to know what is that vial?
What is that? It's got to be like some maybe
Cooking
some
sherry or
rice
something?
vinegar or something like that. It's turned away, so we'll never know.
So you would say, okay, in the game it costs like 1,000 gil. How much could it possibly cost in real life, right? Well, does it cost $10 for each one? Just
Why are you doing this?
He
as
has
if
a lot
people
of measuring
don't
cups.
know. Look at all of those measuring cups. Look at those
Is
carefully
that
laid out
medicine?
spoons. It could just be medicine.
like in Final Fantasy 15? No, it does not. All right, what about if it's gourmet food, right? $5. It's got to be $5 each.
It's not
Wrong.
gourmet.
$3. Lower.
What's the point of doing this?
Jeez, maybe it's a steal. Maybe it's a delicious gourmet
Why are
meal.
you shaking
at a budget
so
price.
much?
$1 each. Wrong.
He's practicing
in
his
the United States of
capoeira.
America, cup noodles cost 39 cents each. 39 cents. Now, I just want you to put this into perspective, okay? What else can you buy for 39 cents? Well, you can't buy a pack of gum. You can't buy a candy bar. You can't even buy... More than likely, if you went to say like a restaurant, they probably wouldn't even give you the cup of hot water required to make cup
Alfonso
noodles.
Rodriguez says, why you didn't use the measuring cups to pour the hot water?
Hey, hey, why?
Because it's plastic and it might hurt the...
39 cents. They
Get to it.
probably charge
Yeah,
you
what is your favorite manga?
Oh, I thank you for asking.
50 cents for a cup of hot water. So, the actual cup noodles product is one of the cheapest food products you can ever get in the United States, which is why it's infamous amongst college students or university students who have next to no money. Because if they're
That is a sped up snort, and it was the length of a regular snort.
It's the third one.
college, they're studying, right? They're constantly, they can't hold jobs. They're at college studying, they have no income. So this is one of the lowest budget foods you can possibly get. So I'm sure it's going to be gourmet, just like they said in Final Fantasy 15, right?
Why is he shaking
Well, before
it
we
so
even
much?
take a look at the
Go back.
flavor.
Pause. Look at that nail. It's bitten down to the nub.
Income.
There's
So this is one of the
nothing on this
lowest budget
thumbnail.
foods you can possibly get. So I'm sure it's going to be gourmet, just like they said in Final
Oh yeah, that's a nothing now.
What are you doing?
You must saw a smorgasbord of black people. Slow that snort down.
Fantasy 15, right? Well, before we even take a look at the flavor or how to make it, I want to take this to the back to show you. Oh my god. A single cup of noodles, 44% of your daily sodium, a quarter of your saturated fat. Calories are pretty decent at around 300 calories, right? That's not too bad. So honestly, a lot of these things are, but iron is actually quite high at 15%, right? I wonder if the chicken is any better or worse. Chicken is worse. Chicken actually has a higher sodium percentage. Everything else looks pretty much the same. Okay, so
Cup noodles are
there's
game.
really not. By the way, here you go. Powdered chicken and rendered chicken fat. Those are the only ingredients in here that are really chicken. No actual pieces of chicken are present in the chicken cup noodles, which is kind of funny. So,
it's not
how do you
kinda funny.
make cup noodles?
It's a 39-cent bucket and cup of chicken soup. You think you're gonna get chicken chunks?
Well,
No
first thing you
Terra
gotta do,
says, fucking nail naysayers over here.
you gotta take the cup out of its cardboard container. So go ahead and do that.
Put the camera down,
And right here
Phil.
on the top, it explains how to make it. It says,
And
recommended
look,
cooking
he reads it. He reads it. Remember that he reads how to do this.
instructions. Go for it. Boy, I can't even read that. What does it say? Boil water in a separate container, fold back the lid and add the boiling water to the inside fill line, then close the lid again and let stand for 3 minutes, and then slurp away.
Fill it, close it, and then eat. 3 steps.
There are 3 instructions here.
One of them is eating.
So there are legitimately 2
Put
steps.
water in it and cover it up.
Hot water, cover up. That's it.
Sir,
He
enjoy,
does. He
right?
reads this 5.5 minutes in. Let's see when he actually does this.
Do not microwave the cup. And it says it will be hot, which is why the cup is made of styrofoam, because typically styrofoam does not conduct heat well. It actually hinders heat, so therefore they don't want you to burn your hand, okay? So you might say, well, how am I gonna do this? Am I gonna sit here on my oven and boil a pot of water? No. I have a Keurig coffee maker, which
He knew he was gonna do this. Why didn't he
Cyberman
just
Morph says,
pre-boil water?
Remember that. Boiling water. This will be foreshadowing.
Remember this! But he
out-
could have just boiled it.
Yes.
It takes 5 minutes to boil water.
Does he have a tea kettle? Because he could have used that.
Yes. Look at that house phone. Why is it next to the Keurig?
DSP is the same guy who wants to double his income by forcing his fanbase to support 2 channels.
Yes! He's complaining about not getting memberships on this new channel already.
Never let DA live down that he gave that robot money.
It was for the goof.
You're right though. Why is his phone in his kitchen right next to his coffee maker?
Why? Those are for Keurig cups.
Yeah.
Why is it empty?
boiling hot water within seconds, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, I don't want to just do it in here, because I'm afraid that it might not make the exact amount, and therefore it might overflow. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to come over here and get a coffee mug, okay? I'll just grab any typical one of these coffee mugs, okay?
This man,
and
he has 1 plate.
Yes, there's 1 plate in there. Paper plates.
I'm going to fill this with hot water, and I'm going to pour that into the cup noodles. So let's actually get this plastic off, because you see the heavy plastic on it. So I'm going to put the camera down for a second.
Stealth snort.
Has he already started the water process for the cup? Because it could have been going as he was taking off the...
I'm going to do it with just my hand, if not, I'll
Put down the
Meme
camera.
Spice says, FPS DSP.
you know, I'm just going to grab a knife, because it's on there pretty tight.
He needs a knife to open.
Okay.
Because he don't got nails. Look at this. There's more skin on his finger.
All right, got the plastic off. Now, I just want to show you, I'm actually going to peel this back, because you need to peel off the top anyway.
That fingernail is finished. You can see the divot on the inside of it.
Man.
See if I can manage to do it in a way that you can actually see what's inside. There we go.
In a way to make it see what's inside. What are you talking about?
Coffee makers don't make boiling water. It doesn't make it fast enough, and the water it makes is not even up to boiling temperature. Yeah, it's just hot water.
Yeah, it's hot water. When I make coffee in our coffee maker, I'll drink it and I'll go, I can essentially instantly start drinking it.
Wow. All right. So, cup noodles. The amazing gourmet product as advertised throughout all of Final Fantasy
Can you stop saying gourmet when they kept...
15.
What's the point?
Here's what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Doesn't that just look ultra appetizing? I'll actually give it a whiff. Basically, I smell 2 things. I smell salt, and I smell a seasoning that kind of smells like seafood. Okay.
What is the smell of salt?
Salt.
Even if this is the shrimp one, I'm not surprised, okay? Now, just to give you some comparison size-wise. This is cup noodles. This is a standard, I believe, 16-ounce glass. I actually have cherry juice in there right now. So, a standard cup noodles is actually about, I'm looking at it now, 2.25 ounces.
Is that a single ice cube in there?
It says how many ounces it is on the box.
So it has a smell?
He's a caveman.
Dry, but once it actually fills up, it's probably about 6 to 8 ounces with the hot water in it, okay? So that's about the size. So, I'm supposed to make hot water, pour it in there to the fill line. I'm assuming the fill line would be that line you see above the top of the styrofoam there, okay?
Yep.
And then mix it up and let it sit for about 3 minutes.
No! He's already wrong. He said
He
mix it
forgot
up.
it. He's lost in the sauce. 3 minutes.
He said mix it up and then let it sit for 3 minutes.
Nope, that's not what it is. He can still read the ingredients. The ingredients are still on the top. Not even 3 minutes he made, and he's so dumb. He can't put water into a thing and let it sit.
Shigaru Magala's best Monster Hunter monster says, "Oh my goodness, how are you guys still doing this? I listened to this for 30 seconds, and I already want to turn it off."
Dude, it's delicious.
Phil is my favorite person on this earth. I've heard his voice more than anybody else on this planet.
We revel in dumb things and we revel in trash. And Phil is one of the greatest to ever come out of human existence.
So what I'll actually do
Spice
here...
says, "Yeah, cherry juice of Dr. Pepper."
Now, you also have to realize, we are 8.5 minutes in, and he's not put water to noodles. There has been no combining of noodles and water 8 minutes in. We just watched it, and I don't know how he made it to 8.5 minutes without doing anything.
The other one, the chicken. Okay.
Oh, we're gonna get hit 10 minutes!
So we'll take a look at what that one looks like on the inside, too.
Look at that sharp knife!
What is funny is you can't see any shrimp inside of the shrimp-flavored one. There's just no shrimp visible.
Yeah, that is funny, Phil.
Okay, so, notable differences. The shrimp...
What is with that old-timey pork pie hat? The 70s gangster hat.
Leanna loved that hat.
Is brownish, right? A brownish seasoning to it. And I see a few pieces of carrot or whatever, but I don't see any shrimp. In the chicken one, it's very yellow, okay? And I'll actually give it a whiff. Oh yeah, it smells like chicken stock. It does. It smells like any kind of chicken stock or chicken...
You read that there was chicken stock in there, Phil. I wonder why it smells like chicken stock. Could it be the chicken stock that's in it?
Broth that you would get.
He swears he's got such a refined nose, a refined palate, that he could just differentiate the spices of the chicken stock. But somehow it just comes out chicken stock.
This one actually has dried pieces of corn in it. Okay? So, here's what we'll do. Let's go over here. The mug is in position under my Keurig coffee.
The mug is in position. You guys, it's like a rocket taking off. The mug is in position.
We have liftoff.
Maker. Now to get this to work, I have to simulate like I'm putting in a thing to make coffee. So I open it and then I close it. Now it thinks I put a coffee thing in there. Okay? Press the button. And it's gonna pump out boiling hot water.
Scalding hot.
The almost untouchable heat of water.
The heat of 1,000 suns is coming out of this Keurig.
We could reheat the earth with the water that's gonna come out of this.
He's got two temperatures that he knows. Ice cold and boiling hot. Those are the only two.
Where's tepid?
Something is in his feasting with the kings. It's sitting around for a second. It's ice cold.
Cause that's that Karen stuff. Cause that's every time. These fries are ice cold. They're lukewarm.
Incidentally, about 8 ounces worth, which is about a typical coffee cup.
There is no steam coming off of that. I think I just saw some.
Now, will this be enough to fill the cup noodles to the fill line, or will we need a second one? We'll have to see.
You were worried that it wasn't.
Okay. There's our hot water.
You could do your balls in that.
Oh no, it was a bubble. I thought it was a piece of coffee. It's not a bubble in there. All right, so I'm gonna attempt to pour this into the cup noodles and not make a mess. See how this goes. It's probably gonna make a mess. It did.
Already! Not a second of pouring, it is already dribbling.
Everywhere.
Mayhaps, Phil, that's not the cup for pouring something like this. And if you do it fast. Not just sort of dribble, because it's just gonna go everywhere.
Let's go. It's probably gonna make a mess.
It hit the counter before it hit the noodle. What are we doing?
Not make a mess. See how this goes. It's probably gonna make a mess. It did. Oh my god, this mug sucks.
Yes, the mug that's the problem, Phil. It's the mug that's the issue. Mugs have not been designed to pour into cup noodles. This mug sucks. What is wrong with this man? He can't say that. He made this plan. And now he's going, the mug sucks.
It doesn't pour out properly.
It doesn't pour out properly.
So that was not even nearly enough water. And now my
Look at how wet his countertop is. It's flooded. Half this is on the counter. Maybe more than half. No, it's a mug. His job is to keep liquids in it.
entire countertop is covered in water because this coffee mug is not a good one for pouring out stuff. Of course, all my other ones are in the freaking wash right now.
You just showed a bunch of mugs in your cupboard.
Of course. So,
what do you mean,
I guess
of course?
it's time to dry my countertop, and then we'll try again. We'll make a second batch of water here.
We'll make a
second
batch of water, he said.
But yeah, not even close to the fill line with whatever I got in there. Nope. So we gotta do it again.
The same cup. The same.
Okay.
The same. Why not take one of those other mugs out of the washer and wash it by hand?
Or the measuring cups. He'd do better to cup his hand underneath the water and just dribble it in that way.
You know, with those Keurigs, you can stop the water going in at any time. So why not put the noodles under it, let it do the water thing, and stop it?
Phil's ability to not take blame himself
The cotton candy empress. Hope says, "Good Lord, this nonsense is going to renew my need for a higher power. Something somewhere made this monster. This is not natural."
It's not natural. Yeah, that water was definitely boiling. Look at how he just mops it up with no issue.
That's going. I'll come over here. So with the little water that's added, it did actually pick up a flavor. I could smell it a little more, but it certainly doesn't look very appetizing, does it? Okay.
You're laying down
behind me right
an
now.
uncooked.
Did you just try to put the cup on top of the napkin?
Very appetizing, does it? Okay. Just a second batch of water popping out behind me right now.
Pause. Go back to the side shot because he did it back then as well when he was mopping it up. Right there.
We'll try again. We'll make a second batch of water here. What a mess I have made. But yeah, not even close to the fill line.
Is he scraping the water off the bottom of a styrofoam cup?
I don't know what he's doing.
Water popping out behind me right now. And
why is he still wiping?
I'm gonna come over here. I have these mats that are by my sink. These are drying mats, so when we wash dishes, we put them here to dry. This way, if it spills, it'll just spill onto the drying mat, and I won't have to dry it.
Why wouldn't you do that the first time?
Because he didn't expect it to spill.
He literally said it might make a mess.
And then he immediately began to pour.
It'll naturally evaporate. Okay.
It'll naturally evaporate.
Anko says,
"Go back."
How hard is it to make some fucking cup noodles?
How hard?
This hard. It takes 30 minutes.
It'll just spill onto the drying mat, and I won't have to dry it up. It'll naturally evaporate. Okay.
It'll naturally evaporate. Yeah, Phil, that's what it does. It doesn't absorb the liquid. No, the liquid naturally evaporates once the second that it hits that towel. It's nature takes its course.
Says, "Is he having a stroke? Am I having a stroke? There's no way someone is not having a stroke."
Somebody's having a stroke.
MFDNJIO4 says, "Look at my DSP meme in Discord."
Oh, all memes at the end.
Cup number 2.
No steam.
And almost to the fill line, almost. Aha, okay.
Where's the
steam? It is
steam?
to the fill line on our first cup noodles. Whoa, you saw what happened? The noodles just floated to the top. So we'll move that to the side to absorb
Cover
the water.
it, Phil. Cover
the
it.
second cup noodles, which is the
Cover
chicken.
it.
You're supposed to cover it,
I'll
Phil.
get this one going. With the remainder of water, pour that right in here.
It's losing its heat, Phil.
There are
to work on my next
three
doing
directions.
2 technically.
I'll grab a spoon, and I'll begin to stir in the water into the shrimp cup
It
noodles.
literally does not call for you to do this.
There is no instructions telling you to stir it. You've made that up.
Boy, it is just one block of noodles. Look at it. It is a
Yeah,
block.
because it's in warm water. Then
not absorbing into the noodles properly.
Of dried noodle. As you can see, the broth, and this is dark and brown. A dark brown broth. I've still yet to see a single shrimp. I see no shrimp in this. Seriously, I don't see any shrimp at all. Look, it's just a big mound of noodles. I'm stirring it constantly here, looking. I don't see a single shrimp in this shrimp one. None. I see carrots. I see whatever that green seasoning is, right? I see tons of that. I don't see a single shrimp. I think they're full of crap. Even though the advertisement, right on it, with delicious, giant, juicy shrimp.
It doesn't say that.
Not a single shrimp. For 39 cents, what do you expect, right?
So why'd you
All right, so
complain
that's
about it
what's
so
that's
much?
soaking.
Cover it! He didn't cover it! He said it's soaking!
He did not say it's soaking.
Cents, what do you expect, right? All right, so that's supposed to soak. That's soaking.
He said it twice.
Meme
I'm
Spice
double
says,
wrong.
cover it for fuck's sake, you human meatball.
It is legitimately 2 instructions, and he has completely misunderstood one of them. Oh, Alfonso, you'll learn.
Know.
Oh,
Y'all know about that spoon. The spoon matter.
The spoon is foreshadowing.
Here we go.
It's dirty inside the cup. You
I
can see
saw that speck.
it's everywhere.
No, it's naturally evaporating. It's evaporating.
He can't pour fish.
And boom, to the fill line. Beautiful. Okay. So it looks like it takes about a standard cup and a half of typical, a teacup or coffee cup in order to fill one of these cup noodles. So I'm still stirring my shrimp.
No, you're not.
In a moment, I'll head over to the chicken.
In a moment,
There's
I'll
no
head
shrimp.
over.
There's not a single one.
You just said for
Look at that.
39 cents.
I mean, maybe once I start to eat it, maybe then I'll find one. But right now, I mean, where could it possibly be hiding in there, you know? Now here's the chicken. Let's break up these noodles, okay? So here's an empty block.
He did not cover the shrimp.
Not
even
for
after.
a second.
Block of dried noodles.
Or just
So
boil
the chicken
the
one
damn
didn't say it
water.
had chicken in it. It said it had chicken powder. Chicken powder. So basically insanely finely ground chicken. And you gotta wonder, what part of the chicken, right, would they actually chop up into powder and put into a cup noodles? Probably like the assholes and elbows, right? The pieces that no one else wants to eat, no one would buy at the grocery store or the market. That's probably what they
Oh my
put
god, I
inside
feel
this.
so offended.
He's just stabbing
Oh my
it
God.
with a spoon.
It's just an incredible amount of noodles, you know, for the size of the cup. If anything, you wish maybe they would have put more ingredients in there to be part of the broth, like more vegetables, more, you know what I mean? And less noodles. But let's face it, the noodles are probably the least expensive ingredient in this thing, which is why it's 39 cents for a cup.
Look at him stirring this.
So,
As you're not
noodle's getting
supposed
nicely stirred.
to.
Now, by
You
now,
see-
our shrimp
You see why it's so hard to stir? Because you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to do this, Phil. This is heaving.
should almost be ready, right? I said 3 minutes. So it should
He said cover it for 3.
He remembered 3 minutes, but he didn't remember. He made up a step, and he took a step out completely.
almost be ready to go. All right, so I'm just gonna let that chicken sit there for a bit. I'm gonna final stir
Let
our
it
shrimp.
soak.
Actually, typically, honestly, it looks like the shrimp actually became a little better. Like the noodles spread out a little more. Oh yeah, doesn't that just look just like it looks like in Final Fantasy 15? Look, there's what it looks like in Final Fantasy 15 and on the package
Can't
itself.
keep doing this.
And here's
Phil.
the reality.
You already admitted that
Not
it's
false
30
advertising.
cents.
He wants the most. As advertised, he's such a Karen, dude.
Unbelievably.
At all, right, guys and gals? No, of course not. No. Couldn't accuse them of false advertising. Come on. All right, I'm gonna go grab a napkin because I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to eat this. It's gonna go everywhere.
It's noodles. Why
How
would
do
it go
you think it's gonna go everywhere?
However, what you've been
Are you a
waiting for, I'm actually gonna
Tasmanian
taste
devil?
cup noodles for the first time since I was a kid. I had this when I
Cookie
was a kid,
Monster.
and that was it. I haven't had them since then. Okay.
That's not how chicken
I'm
stop
gonna do.
working.
Get the chicken out of here while that.
At this
gets
point, it's
ready.
not even worth
Shrimp.
talking about it.
With shrimp, not shrimp flavored. With shrimp, supposed to have shrimp in it. Okay, whatever you say. Let's first of all just take.
Shigaru Magala's best Monster Hunter monster says, I've made stew beef and kidney beans faster than this idiot has made cup noodles, and that takes almost 3 hours.
Normal speed.
Normal speed?
Normal speed.
Normal speed.
We gotta get this in its full.
Taste of the liquid itself without noodles. Okay.
Did he chew? Did he chew? This man, he either chewed or he swished it. But there was a sound.
Well, I gotta go back further. This man is an animal.
Without noodles. Okay.
Dude, how do you make that noise?
You sped it up and it was still so long.
Oh yeah, it was always sped up.
Dude, he's either swishing or chewing. No, hell no, bitch, bite into it.
Okay.
Dude, it legit sounds like he's chewing chips. It sounds like there's
about chewing water.
It sounds like there's a crunch to it. I swear to God, there is a crunch when he does this.
Okay.
It sounds like he's eating chips.
It's two of them. It's like.
Okay. It tastes like not too salty. It actually tastes just like kind of seasoned water. I'm not even kidding you. It tastes like seasoned water.
What do you think, so pissed?
What?
Oh my God!
Phil, it's literally seasoned water.
What do you think?
I'm not even kidding you. It tastes like seasoned water. You guys, hold your horses. This water with seasoning in it, you won't believe what it tastes like. All right?
It doesn't taste like shrimp at all.
It's got a crunchy taste.
Not at all, okay? All right, let me get another sip.
Dude. What is he doing? What is he doing? No, that's why he's not eating on camera. He's putting it into whatever alien orifice that he's got, and that's making that noise as he unhinges his third jaw.
Dude.
Okay. All right, let me get another sip. Nope. There's not a single inkling of a shrimp flavoring. It's basically just seasoned water. Wow. All right, well, maybe the proof is in the noodles. Let's give the noodles a taste and let's see what those taste like.
I would hazard to say slow this down, but
And try to get a spoon.
Oh, I can do that.
No. But go back, because there was.
Taste and let's see what those taste like.
Watch the spoon, y'all.
And try to get a spoon. Oh, wow. It's even hard to get a spoon of noodle. Look, it's incredibly difficult to get a spoon of noodle out of it because they all...
It's incredibly difficult to get a spoon of noodle out of it. Look! As if this is something unbelievable. He's like, you guys, I can't spoon my noodles. Use a fork? Well, calm down a second. Right? The spoon is already in play.
Pull away from you. I might need a fork.
Pause. Go back.
The whole thing.
Wow. It's even hard to get a spoon of noodle. Look, it's incredibly difficult to get a spoon of noodle out of it because they all pull away from you.
Pause. Because they all pull away from you. Go back to the complete beginning. Because I just want to see something.
1801. The complete good beginning of the video.
To the spooning of the noodles.
Not too salty. It actually tastes just like kind of
Bro, why
seasoned
can't I
water.
fork my tomato?
I'm not even kidding you. It tastes like seasoned water. It doesn't taste like shrimp at all.
Man,
not
you're
at
using
all.
a butter
Okay?
knife trying to
Nope.
eat this.
There is not a single inkling of a shrimp flavoring. It's basically just seasoned water. Wow. All right, well, maybe the proof is in the noodles. Let's give the noodles a taste and let's see what those taste like.
1, 2.
I'm trying to get a spoon. Oh, wow. It's even hard to get a
3.
spoon of noodle. Look, it's incredibly difficult
4.
to get a spoon of noodle out of it because they all pull away from you. I might need a fork. In fact, you know what? I'm going to get a fork. I don't think I can.
It took him 4 times trying to get noodles out of that cup with a spoon before he went, I might need a fork. You know what? I'm gonna go get a fork.
There are people that can eat noodles with a spoon. Phil is not one of those people.
Eat this without a fork.
A spoon is literally the worst option. Your hand would have been better.
But that's slightly hotter than room temperature water.
So I think what I'm gonna have to do here, okay, I think I'm gonna have to take this fork.
I think I'm gonna have to take, I think I'm gonna have to take this fork. This is a revolutionary idea, you guys. I know. But here's my hypothesis. If I take this fork,
My college thesis on noodle mechanics.
And kind of twirl to get the noodles to catch on the fork. See?
Dude! Just scoop the noodles with the fork! Nope. To see, you gotta twirl it to see how it scoops the noodles.
Maybe if this guy is a robot. I swear to God. Maybe if I twirl the noodles, I'll be able to catch them on my fork.
Nope, here comes the best part.
And kind of twirl to get the noodles to catch on the fork. See that? So now
See
when
that?
I pull up, now I can get a mouthful of noodles versus before with the spoon, they would all
You
just
see
fall
that,
up.
you guys? He said, see that, as if he's made a discovery, as if there were doubters. Just like nobody believed me when I said I could twirl the noodles.
Let him cook!
No.
We've seen him try to cook. Let me explain.
Alright, so I'm gonna take a bite of this.
Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God, I wish I fucking was.
Oh, you can go back to 1.2.
Oh, yeah.
I just want the spoon or the fork discovery.
Alright. Oh, by the way, now that I have the fork, I can actually go through the noodles a lot better.
I guess we weren't
do
doing
you
it yet.
think you can do that, Phil?
See that? And I can 100% tell you, there is not a single piece of shrimp in this with shrimp cup of noodles. They 100% lied. It's complete false advertising, and I did not get one with any shrimp, not even a single one. It's just noodles and liquid and seasonings. That's it. Before I say anything, I'm gonna take another forkful, get a taste, and I'll let you know what I think.
Oh, this is disgusting.
This is disgusting.
All right. There's good news and bad news.
The Cotton Candy Empress, Hope says, I can't believe this. Not even the best writers of all time could write this bit and have it be this bad on purpose.
It's inconceivable. People would be like, this isn't realistic.
No.
What are we doing here?
Absolutely.
The man used a spoon.
There's nobody that's this stupid. Are we supposed to believe that an audience will actually believe a person would be this dumb?
We gotta tone it back. We either have to use the mug or the spoon. We can't do both. It's too much.
Josh says, Phil eating makes don't want to eat ever.
Yeah, oh, true.
Who programmed him to say naturally evaporate? We can't do that.
And then there's a mat that he could use that would absorb any water spilled, and now he's just gonna do it? I don't think, guys, come on.
Get the hat off of the counter. It's already filming. It's too late.
Wow, Corey won the jackpot.
Dang. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it happen.
The news is it's not horrible. It actually is palatable. Like it's not upsetting my stomach. It tastes pretty good actually. It's basically just basic seasonings, like I said, with noodles and broth. The noodles, you can't taste egg, you can't taste anything. They're just kind of there. They taste like a generic noodle, all right? You know, honestly, kind of more like chemicals than anything else, which is kind of what you would expect. And yeah, it's there. But the good news is it actually is helping my throat a lot. It's actually pretty warm.
It's pretty warm.
It's pretty warm.
And that's what I need for my soup. Pretty warm.
But he's taking 2 spoonfuls and 2 forkfuls, and he's like, I'm healed. Miracle.
Better.
And it nicely is kind of soothing my sore throat. So with anything, what we may be finding today is that cup noodles is what you want when you have a sore throat. It'll make your throat feel better. Okay?
What we may be finding here today.
Wasn't the point that he said earlier?
Yes, it was.
This is perfect because my sore throat. But now it's a discovery?
It's pretty warm, though.
This guy, there's never been anything like this in my life. Ever.
Now let's scoot over to the chicken. The chicken has corn, which is an added ingredient that the shrimp did not have, okay? Maybe the chicken tastes more like chicken. At least we know there's ground chicken powder in this thing. This tastes nothing like...
Maybe the chicken will taste more like chicken.
He didn't say that.
Okay? Maybe the chicken tastes more like chicken. At least we know there's ground chicken powder in this thing. This tastes nothing like shrimp at all and has no shrimp in it. Let's see what the chicken tastes like. Here we go. Oh boy. Wow. Well, oh my god. Right off the bat, I can tell you. The
What's
chicken.
all that stuff? It's so hot.
Well, oh my god. Right off the bat, I can tell you. The chicken is way more salty than the shrimp. I can taste it. Now it's weird because if remember we looked at the labels, and said shrimp has 44% of your sodium, and chicken has 45%. I would say bullshit. I don't think that those are correct, at least for the batch that I'm eating here. And this is much more salty than this, but it also
The
has
Cotton
more
Candy
flavor.
Empress
Okay,
Hope says, when did he add wood chips to those noodles?
so what I'm actually gonna do is I did this with the shrimp. I'm gonna take a couple pieces of corn and just the broth and taste that.
ASMR ever. Bro.
Now here's the thing.
It's cornfield. It's corn
The
with
fact
some
that this one has
chicken
corn,
stock
and the corn
on
is
it.
very sweet, is an added bonus. Because with the shrimp, you're just getting the same flavor constantly throughout.
It's
There's no added
keratin.
ingredient in there. It's just seasoning, and you have to deal with that seasoning, right? Here, well, that's my hamster drinking water. Is what that noise is. Here,
Another
the saltiness of the broth is very salty, but it's being combined with the sweetness of the corn actually tastes better in my opinion. I'm actually gonna do one more forkful of the chicken. And then I'm gonna give you my final verdict on cup noodles. Here we go.
He's such a gross guy. Jesus Christ!
Oh.
Jesus Christ! I'm slowing that down. Jesus Christ!
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. I would say
Jesus
that
Christ!
the chicken cup noodles is actually far more tasty than the shrimp. The shrimp, sadly, is a one-trick pony. If you
Dutch
It's
says,
amongst the
I give up. I am smoking a bit of the devil's lettuce. Phil eating broke me. It makes me sick.
It's amongst one of the greatest lines in human history.
Conceivable. I don't think there will ever be anything that will knock it out of the top 5 sentences in human history.
Sadly, the shrimp is a one-trick pony.
It is the greatest.
Creative username says, as the current and only winner of the jackpot, I say you must give Notera some points or take the cool down off.
What type of nut?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. Sadly, the shrimp is a one-trick pony.
Sadly.
far more tasty than the shrimp. The shrimp, sadly, is a one-trick pony. If you don't like the flavoring of the seasoning of the shrimp, there's not much you can do about it. It is what it is. If this one, you get not only the seasoning of the chicken stock flavoring,
I've tried,
you also
Isaiah.
get
He
the
won't
conjecture
listen.
of the sweetness of the corn and the other ingredients that are in it, okay? Now, here's the thing. If my shrimp had actually had shrimp in it, it might have been better. Because this one has no chicken. It's just ground powdered chicken, okay? It's guaranteed not to have any chunks of chicken in it. It's not even advertised to have chunks of chicken in it. This one was supposed to have shrimp. This is blatant false advertisement.
I wonder if he got the beef by mistake. Like they packaged it wrong.
Nah, I think that might just be shrimp. But it might just be one or two small ones.
Yeah, cut up pieces of shrimp or something instead of some big old chunky shrimp.
So if you've played Final Fantasy 15, right, and you looked at the picture like, oh man, that looks...
Who believes that? Who walks into a Burger King and going, my Whopper doesn't look like exactly like the one on the picture? Shut up and eat your 30-cent noodles after you cover it as you're supposed to.
He never did that.
Eat your noodles with a spoon, Phil, and shut up.
You're so mad about this.
Amazing. Cup noodles, the advertisement.
Did he just put his utensils on that dirty
The cotton candy empress.
wash dishes
Hope
thing?
Yes, you did.
This video has taken 12 years off my life. I can feel the big sleep come closer every time he eats those nuts and bolts.
The big sleep. Apologies, but this needs to be shown.
Everywhere. And oh my god, it looks...
Bro, look at that dirty mat. Why would you put your utensils on?
It's not. It's simply not clean.
so good. Now you know the truth. This is why I was making fun of it, and why most people who see that and have had it before are making fun of it. This is far from a gourmet product.
Of course it's not a gourmet product. It's 40 cents.
30.
I wouldn't expect anything gourmet for 30 cents.
I would expect edible.
Edible.
These are calories.
And noodles are edible.
This is the bottom of the barrel. You can't get a TV dinner or a microwave dinner or any kind of food prep for cheaper than this. This is the lowest, cheapest way to eat. It's also one of the most unhealthy due to the insanely high sodium content, okay? But hey, if you're strapped for cash and you need a quick meal and you have access to hot water, this is the way to do it, right? Again, like I said, this is why college and university students, this is huge for them. Ranked directly against each other. On looks, you would think that the shrimp is just gonna be much better because it has shrimp in it while the chicken doesn't. However, mine had none, okay? My chicken had corn, which made it better, ultimately, than the shrimp. So I'm gonna give the shrimp cup noodles a 1.5 out of 5. It's not disgusting, it's palatable, it certainly isn't anything I would want to eat a giant tub of. In fact, even just eating this one cup of it might be a little bit too much. It's not bad.
Too much. Dude, you bought 3 pizzas from Domino's. You think this is too much?
Tasting, but it doesn't taste like shrimp, and there's no shrimp in it despite the advertising. If this tasted more like shrimp and had more shrimp in it, I might give it like a 3 or 3.5. Right now, the only reason it gets a 1.5, sadly, is because it's cheap. It's one of the cheapest forms of food you can get, okay? The chicken cup noodles, I'm gonna give a 2 out of 5 because it actually tastes better than the shrimp. There's no false advertising. It never said that it had chicken in it. It says chicken flavor, okay? And with the corn, to juxtapose the insane saltiness of it.
To juxtapose.
The corn juxtaposes salt.
Mm-hmm. Notice how he didn't eat a single forkful of noodles with corn in it. He ate the corn separately.
What is the corn flavor that would juxtapose the salt of the noodles?
Slightly sweet, I guess.
But then it's not sweet corn unless they say it.
It actually makes it tastier than this. However, it is less healthy for you because it has more sodium in it. Again, the only reason they get the rankings they have is because of the cost. If these cost $1 or $2, they would be like 0, okay? But because they're so cheap, they're not terrible products, they're just bad products. And they do have a couple more flavors, but the bottom line is you've seen the 2 staple flavors. Do you really trust if you get another flavor of cup noodles that it's gonna have any of the ingredients in it that they claim? No, it's blatant false advertising.
The chicken did.
To eat a crappy level product just because you're poor, basically. So, cup noodles with shrimp, 1.5 out of 5. Cup noodles with chicken, or excuse me, I screwed that up. Cup noodles, chicken flavor, 2 out of 5. I don't recommend it unless you're strapped.
Reminder: DSP scammed his audience by saying he promised a Project 7 trailer, not the project talk about false advertising.
Yeah, no, we ain't talking about that.
He didn't even promise a Project 7 trailer. He promised a reboot, which he co-opted into trailer when he got called out.
He didn't deliver.
Which he also didn't deliver.
Cash, or if you're like me.
Hey, remember when a member's goal was going to be a let's play Halo together type thing? He never played Halo with his audience? Cool.
Your voice is really killing you, your throat's swollen. It actually is soothing my throat, and I am going to have a little...
It is cold at this point.
Ice cold.
Cool.
It's nothing. You can't microwave it.
Each, because I know it's going to soothe my throat and make me feel a little better. That's pretty much the main focal point, or if you don't have a lot of money, it's a quick meal. That's it for DSP Tries It, everyone. Final Fantasy 15 Special Edition. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Please check out my Loot Crate discount if you enjoyed me eating noodles. -10.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, whoops.
Oh, take it
Meme
out.
Spice says, anyway, when is the next Gaming with Discord stream?
I was thinking about doing it tomorrow because I have Sundays free now. This is not a fair
It's
number.
disgusting.
He does nothing here. Before this recent post on July, his last one was in 2018.
He's just raking in money.
This is free money, y'all. Yeah, I was thinking about doing Among Us or Goose Goose Duck tomorrow. Because, like I said earlier, I have Sundays free because football is over. So, we can plan some stuff on Sundays from now on.
Yes, I am into Aruma. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's creeping into my top 5, legit. Love it. Absolutely love it. I don't want to say too much for the people that are not caught up, but it's a very good manga. It's very funny, and the characters are great. Yes, I love it.
Are the characters
so
great,
much.
though?
Yes, they really are.
Okay.
Sadly, some of the characters are one-trick pony.
I'm an idiot sandwich. The MF Doom cover is fire. That's horrible. Don't do
Meme
this.
Spice says, are we not doing the H-Bomber guy?
And we're not gonna watch H Bomber Guy do it. Y'all can watch it on your own
You guys can watch the H Bomber. It's a very funny one, and we just be laughing at H Bomber Guy laughing.
I love all the MF Doom.
Oh my goodness, the work that this must have taken is too much.
The DoorDash. This is from Food.
Have no fear.
All the MF Doom ones are in great. What a terrible mess Troll
Dutch
made
says,
of my life.
read Iruma BG, you are below DA until you read it.
Agreed. Even after he reads it. The Ham Terminator is so good.
All right, we're caught up. Oh, dude, Phil as MF Doom on all of these are fantastic. Metal face, hilarious. All right, we're out of here. Don't know what we're doing next week. As per usual.
But you promised Salad saying at least.
Yeah, we'll do something with Salad saying because I hadn't done it on the last one, and this is pure Phil. So, your Zoro? Where was your Zoro? Because I think we saw all of the ones, unless it was super high up. And
Creative username says, it's not over till the fish jumps.
yeah,
Creative username says,
It's right
splash, it's over.
here. 52.
At what, 52?
552.
552?
I'm gonna edit that maybe, hopefully. If I remember. I got it. I got the stuff that I want to do, but
It's just not happening. No. Oh, okay. That's 512. I'm stupid. Wow, how did I miss this? Then yeah, there's a couple that were missed. That's not cool.
Yeah, the jerk face. He looks so suspicious. Like somebody gonna take his cup. And of course, the standard.
Yeah, we missed. Yeah, I started here. Oh, it must have been right after. That's why. Okay, that makes more sense. Cool. All right, we're out of here. Regular revisited, regular stream next week. Y'all should not come to Phil stuff. This is strictly for us. Y'all gotta understand. We truly do not care about y'all when it comes to Phil.
So good.
Have fun with the rest of your day. For
Slurp.
wrestling fans, Sami Zayn is not winning tonight, but it should still be a fun little pay-per-view. Beyond that, you guys know what you can do.
Tell them they can shove off.
The Cotton Candy Empress. Hope says, no, I need to Photoshop Phil's face.
Yep, it's too late.
If y'all ever in NYC, you can ride any MTA buses for free. The driver will most likely not bother you about it. We went to New York once for extremely cheap clothing.
Yep.
And we got it. And they were extremely cheap clothing.
Oh, My Hero Academia 380.
It's bad.
It's
bad.
It's not good stuff going on,
bad.
y'all. Y'all have already shoved off though.
It's bad. It is very, very bad. I do not enjoy it. The Gentle stuff was amazing.
Hey,
because Gentle was
we should stop talking about it because clearly it's gonna end soon, and the because reasons is gonna come shortly after.
Yes.
So we might as well start saving those up. But just know, it's real bad stuff, y'all.
I did not enjoy it at all, except for the Gentle stuff.
Gentle remains. How do you create Gentle?
I hate it. I hate that it's so good.
Shove